time for Owlz baseball on 960 AM The Zone. The back-to-back Pioneer League champions have teamed up with the #1 sports station in Utah County. A match made in sports heaven. Catch the Owls all season long on 960 AM The Zone. Pre-game starts at 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 4 p.m. on Sundays. For a complete game and broadcast schedule, just log on to owlsbaseball.com. Now let's go live to the stadium with Owls broadcaster Brandon Godden.
And welcome to Mike Lansing Field, everybody. Tonight from Casper, Wyoming, after 3 games in Idaho Falls, 6 straight games with Idaho Falls. We split those 3, but the big story, the Owls have lost 3 of their last 4, and the offense is struggling. Over the last 5 games, your Orem Owls are just hitting .159 with 25 hits, 5 hits a game, and only 12 runs. So we'll see if we can get the offense back on track here tonight in Casper. Casper comes in last place in the Pioneer League South, and they are 6 games out of first. The Owls, after losing last night to Idaho Falls, 1 game back of the leading Chuckers. And behind us then will be Ogden there in 3rd place at 8-9, 3 games out. That's how the Pioneer League South is shaping up about a quarter way through the season. Right now, folks, we're going to pause for the national anthem. We'll be back with the Hacienda Imports starting lineups and your first pitch. You're listening to Owlz Baseball on 960 AM The Zone.
Thinking of adding that special touch to your yard? Something that will make a dramatic statement and add countless years of enjoyment? Then contact Awesome Waterfalls. Our craftsmen specialize in high-quality recreated rockwork and landscape designs of all shapes and sizes. While we're well known for our stunning waterfalls, we also remove pools, install vinyl and chain link fencing, sell topsoil, install sprinklers, and more, providing complete landscaping services for 20 years. Find out more at awesomewaterfalls.com.
Employers and employees are looking for the same thing, a good match. Adecco Employment Services provides qualified job applicants to businesses throughout the area. Our consultants match the best candidates to the best companies, saving both time and money. So whether you're looking for a great career or a great employee, call Adecco, the world's staffing leader. Find us in your yellow pages or give us a call at 801-764-9882. Adecco Employment Services. Chances are we already have the opening or the employee you're looking for.
Hi, this is Owlz broadcaster Brandon Godden. To get rid of our remaining commercial airtime, we are selling our final spots for as little as $15 a piece. For just $15, your company can reach everyone in Utah County on 960 AM. Call 377-BALL and ask for Media Relations to schedule your commercial airtime today. Or you can email radio@oremowls.com. That's 377-BALL, 377-2255, or radio@oremowls.com.
Welcome back to Mike Lansing Field, everybody. The first of a 2-game set, a small 2-game set here in Casper, Wyoming. Tonight at 7:05, the start here in just about a minute as the Rockies are on the infield taking their warm-up tosses. And then tomorrow night, same time, 7:05, before the Owls get to head back home for a day off on Sunday and then a 7-game home stretch, 4 against Missoula Monday through Thursday. And then Helena comes in town next weekend for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series before it's back on the road again. Last night, the Owls, after losing that 3-0 decision and only getting a few hits, 3 hits and no runs for the Owls and a 3-0 loss, had to hop on the bus and drive overnight, didn't get into Casper until 10 o'clock this morning. Just made the ultimate decision, did manager Tom Kochman, to go down through Ogden and over, so it was all interstate, but it increased the duration of the ride by a couple of hours, so it took about 9.5 hours on the bus. So we'll see how the Owls respond after getting in the hotel at 10 this morning, sleeping till about 3, and then throwing their uniforms on and coming over to Mike Lansing Field. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Hacienda Imports starting lineups. Leading off and stepping into the box right now is Ryan Mount, P.J. Phillips second, Scott Knezik batting third. The first pitch coming to Mount is a called strike over the inside corner. Tyler Johnson once again cleaning up. Luis Rivera back in the lineup, batting fifth. Gordy Gronkowski, Abel Nieves. Second pitch, bounce to the right side. Nazario, the second baseman, has it on a high hop. And he retires Mount 4-3, 1 man down. Behind Abel Nieves, who's batting seventh in the lineup, Ivan Villa-Iscusa getting his first start of the 2006 campaign. He's in the DH spot. And then rounding out the order for the Owls is Peter Bourjos in center field. And starting on the mound for these Casper Rockies is Robinson Fabian, and he's getting ready to fire to P.J. Phillips. Here comes the first pitch. That one's hit weakly foul down the right side. A little pop-up giving chase to Steven Suarez. He can't come up with it. It gets out of play, 0-1. Robinson Fabian, yes, we've seen him before. He started we played a 3-game set here, games 5, 6, and 7 of the season, and he pitched the third game on the 26th. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs against your Owls, just 3 hits and struck out 6, but would be the loser as the Owls would win that one 3-2. Swinging and missing is P.J. Phillips, and now the count is 0-2. So Fabian, the right-hander, is on the hill. Kevin Clark, Jay Cox, and Jorge Sandez, a couple of new faces in the outfield left to right. This one's chopped to third. Mike Milliron has it across. And 2 high chop ground outs, and there are 2 men quickly retired here in the top of the first. And on the infield, Mike Milliron, who just made that play, Héctor Gómez, Radames Nazario, and Steven Suarez at first behind the plate, Jason Augustine. And on the mound, as we said, Robinson Fabian. Fabian, the righty, 6'3", 152 from the Dominican Republic, signed as a free agent. As the first pitch comes in high now to Scott Kanazik, the catcher. And as I said, the Owls just looking to get back on the offensive end of things, struggling these past 5 games, hitting just 159. That's not going to do it. That's a high, lazy fly into shallow right center. 3 players converge. The captain of the outfield, Jay Cox, calls everyone off, squeezes it, and the Owls go 1-2-3. We head to the bottom half. We'll be back at you in 90 seconds. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
It's time to stop the new car madness. No need to buy a new one. Take care of the car you have. Bring it to AMCO today and get a transmission fluid change for a special price of $49.95. We'll also give you our external diagnostic service free. Love the car you're with. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO.
Participating centers only, not available for vehicles with internal transmission problems. External diagnostic service includes road test, fluid, and external control check. Additional charges may apply to determine costs of internal repair required. $49.95 most vehicles. Expires December 31st.
Advanced Dental Care is your center of cosmetic and laser dentistry. Advanced Dental Care is where Doctors Michael and David Bennett specialize in the latest state-of-the-art procedures. With single-visit crown restoration, tooth-colored fillings, and the new Zoom 2 teeth whitening system, they bring tomorrow's dentistry today. Call for your appointment today at 375-1414.
Doctors Michael and David Bennett are the official team dentists and proud sponsors of Orem Owlz Baseball.
In baseball, the American dream is to make it to the big show and become a pro. Another American dream is to become a homeowner. It's easy. Give the pros at American Dream Mortgage a call. Whether it's your first home or just moving up to fit the family, American Dream Mortgage can get you into the game. Ask about debt consolidation plans, great rates, and low closing costs. Step up to the plate and call American Dream Mortgage at 227-5061. That's 227-5061. Hit a home run and start living the American dream.
So we're heading to the bottom of the first. The Owls retired 1-2-3 in the top half. Let's take a look at the second half. We'll have the import starting lineups. Héctor Gómez leading off for the Casper Rockies. Kevin Clark in left field batting second. Jay Cox third. Cleaning up Jason Augustine. Behind him will be Steven Suarez. Jorge Sandez, the player that we didn't see the first go-around, is signed in between now and then, and he's batting in the sixth slot. Mike Milliron, Austin Rauch, and Radames Nazario round out the order for the Rockies of Casper. And defensively for your Orem Owls, Tyler Johnson in left, Peter Bourjos in center, Luis Rivera back in right field tonight. Third to first on the infield, P.J. Phillips. Ryan Mount, after sitting out the last 2 games, is back in there in shortstop. Phillips back over to his normal position at third. Abel Nieves instead of Tad Brewer tonight at second, and Gordy Gronkowski at first. Behind the plate, Scott Kanazik and his battery mate, the pitcher, getting his second start on the season, is Bobby Cassevah, the right-hander number 20. He's firing his first pitch to Héctor Gómez. It's a fastball that misses low. 1-0. Cassevah from Pace, Florida, 6'2", 215. He was a 34th round draft pick in 2004. His stock affected because he had Tommy John surgery. He was originally predicted to be a first to third round draft pick before that. But the Tommy John surgery set him back, and the scouts kind of took their eyes off of him for a while. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim grabbed him, And he's working his second start. Did Héctor Gómez go around? Yes, he did. And now the count is at 1-2. High fastball from Cassevah. Gómez could not hold up. So far on the season for Cassevah, this will be his fourth appearance. As I said, second start. It's a spot start as the 1-2's coming at Mrs. Low. Count even now at 2-2. Spot start for Sean O'Sullivan, who's had some tenderness in his right shoulder, his throwing shoulder. That's why he's going to miss the start tonight. He'll be back in the regular rotation 5 days from now. And Cassevah will return back to the bullpen, his bullpen duties. 4 2/3 innings pitched, 14 hits he's given up, just 4 earned runs, and he's walked 4 and struck out 7. He has had a little trouble with the control and working a lot of 3-ball counts. And speaking of a 3-ball count, there's a 3-2 pitch that misses low, and he's put Gómez on here to start the bottom of the first.
All right, keep it going for.
So we'll see how he responds. That's been one thing, talking with pitching coach Zeke Zimmerman. He just, Cassevah's worked a lot of 3-ball counts. His walk total for 4 innings is pretty high at 7, but not outrageously high. But still, having trouble keeping the ball down. The first pitch here, Kevin Clark swings at a ball of the outside corner, comes up empty, 0-1. Clark, 245, 13 for 53 on the season. Has struck out 18 times, second on the team in that category. Or maybe you should say second to last, because you don't want to have the second highest strikeout total. Cassevah checking Héctor Gómez back at first. He dives in easily, safely. Welcome to Mike Lansing Field. Brandon Gaudin coming at you. You're listening to Owlz Baseball on AM 960 KOVO Provo. We're at the bottom of the first. This 2-game set here as that one's fouled, just fouled the bag at first base. If that one got in between Gordy and first, it could have been in for extra bases. But it's foul, and the count is 0-2. Jay Cox, another player that we haven't seen yet, is on deck. He and Sandez, the 2 boys in the order for these Rockies that weren't up against us the first go-around for the 3-game set here. Cassevah comes set, looks into Knazik, and goes from the stretch. Here comes the 0-2, swing and a miss. They got him. Clark down swinging. There's the first out of the inning, and the center fielder, Jay Cox, will step up to the plate. As I said, Cox, new to the club, only played the 1 game last night, 1 for 4 with a .250 average. He's from Smithfield, North Carolina, 6 foot 200 an outfielder, playing center field tonight, and he's batting from the left side. And the first pitch from Cassevah's inside, 1-0. 22nd round in 2006, played with the University of North Carolina. Of course, you know what they did in the College World Series. A great, great run for the Tar Heels. So joining them late is Cox. And they're inserting him right into their lineup last night and tonight in the 3rd slot, playing center field. Lost that College World Series to Oregon State 2-1. And he was named to the All-College World Series. First team was Jay Cox. And here comes the pitch to him. This one's grounded sharply to third. Phillips has it to second for 1. Good turn by Nieves. Got him. Great 5-4-3 double play. Credit Phillips with a backhand and a good throw to Nieves and a quick turn and a sidearm throw to first, and they got him with a twin killing, and we're out of it. We'll go to the second scoreless. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Barber Brothers Mitsubishi in Orem offers the finest new and pre-owned vehicles at unbeatable prices. If you want to roam over the Wasatch Front with power and style, you can choose from the Outlander, Montero, or the Endeavor, 3 sporty and roomy SUVs. Or how about a convertible for the hot Orem summer? The new 2006 Eclipse Spider is the top of the heap in style, class, and luxury. To get away from the ordinary, stop by and at least test drive a Barber Brothers Mitsubishi today. Barber Brothers, West University in Orem.
When it's time for your next set of tires, do you want the tire with the best warranty in the business? Then you should head to Big O Tires. When it's time for your next pair of Owlz baseball game tickets, do you want free tickets and a chance to win $50,000? Then get to Big O Tires for an entry form and details. No purchase necessary. Big O Tires, Utah's #1 tire store.
A reputation you can ride on. Big O Tires.
Get Get every day off to a great start with the Daily Herald, Utah County's #1 newspaper. The Herald has you covered in every area, from local to world news and sports to classifieds. The Daily Herald has the most comprehensive and in-depth newspaper around. And of course, in addition to receiving the paper right to your door, you can also visit the Daily Herald online at harktheherald.com. The Daily Herald, your town, your neighbors, your newspaper.
Heading to the second scoreless, a great double play to get out of the bottom of the first with a runner at first. The ball was hit to Phillips. He made a nice throw to second. Nieves with a great turn and sidearm throw to Gronkowski, completing the 5-4-3. Leading off the second, Tyler Johnson back in left field today, his third consecutive start in the field after being called down from low AC to Rapids. Johnson saw most of his action in the DH position, but filling the spot out in left tonight. 0-1 pitch coming from Fabian. Swinging and missing at an off-speed pitch, 0-2. It'll be Johnson, Rivera, and Gronkowski, 4, 5, 6 in the Owlz order. Johnson's bat was hot, but as of late it's cooled down. He was over 400, now down to 317, and here he is striking out, swinging at a breaking ball, coming up empty. The ball bounces in front of the catcher, Augustine, so he has to pick it up and tag Johnson out, but Johnson is out of there on strikes. And 4 up and 4 down so far for the Owls. Luis Rivera, the right fielder, coming in there now. Luis, 226 on the season. Does have 5 RBIs, but like so many on this team, he's struck out quite a bit, 16 times already. Here comes the pitch from Fabian. Caught the corner, 0-1. As a team, the Owls have struck out 161 times. That's 17 greater than anybody else in the Pioneer League. Through 17 games, this being the 18th game of 76 on the season, as the 0-1 misses outside, 1-1 the count. And here comes the pitch. Rivera pops it back, foul, and out of play, 1-2. The good news is our pitching has been strong. It's really what's kept us in a lot of these ball games. Although early on, the offense did have a couple of, we've had 3 10-run explosions on offense. And this one's hit well down the left field line. It's going to get in for extra bases. As the left fielder, Kevin Clark, had Rivera shaded towards center, and that'll give Rivera a chance to easily trot into second with a stand-up double. Turning on a breaking ball and knocking it down the left field line. And very surprised at how far those outfielders had Rivera shaded towards right and right center. And it looks like they're going to do the same with Gronkowski. Fabian is a very hard-throwing right-hander. He'll touch up in the mid-90s, but there is a lot of room as Rivera just exposed down that left field line, but still as Gronkowski steps up to the plate. Kevin Clark basically playing in left center field rather than left. So the runner at second, the one man out, and here comes the first pitch to the first baseman. It misses outside, 1-0. Gronkowski 10 for 34, 294, pair of RBIs. He's cooled down after having a couple of hot games against Idaho Falls at home back in that 3-game set where he went 7 for 7. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to him. Coming up empty, swinging and missing. 1-1 is Gronkowski. Fabian, this pitcher, told you he's tall but skinny. 6'3", 152, was a free agent signee in 2003 and played here last year. In 12 games, he struggled, had an 11.79 ERA and 23 2/3 innings pitched. There's the 1-1 breaking ball, stays inside, 2-1. So far this season, though, for Fabian, stronger than last year, but still not dominant through 13 2/3 innings with a 7.24 ERA. And this is his 4th game. All have been starts. Rivera off second. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That one's popped foul to the right side. Suarez, the first baseman, gives chase but has no play. That one creeps out and behind the dugout on the first base side. A good crowd here. Again at Mike Lansing Field, despite the struggling Rockies being in last place. This community supports their team. A good crowd on hand here. Holds about 2,500. And they've got it well over, I'd say, 3/4 full. Fabian looking and checking back at second. Rivera hustling back in there quickly, no throw. Top of the second, we're scoreless. A 2-2 pitch getting ready to come to Gordy Gronkowski with one man out and Rivera at second base. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Foul back to the screen. We'll do it again. The Owls searching for their first run in 10 innings. We were held scoreless last night through 9 at Idaho Falls, getting blanked 3-0. The only runs that Idaho Falls got came in the top or bottom of that first inning when they got the leadoff single by Morrell. Then they got a walk, and then Jace Turner hit the 3-run homer on a mislocated fastball by our starter, Amalio Diaz. Speaking with Zeke Zimmerman after the game, he just said that was simply a mistake. That ball was supposed to be down and in. It was up and away where Turner likes it, the left-hander, and he knocked it over the wall, and the Owls could never get anything going offensively. Here comes the 2-2 to Gordy. This one's hit into right field. Could it get down in front of Sanders? It does. Around third comes Rivera. It's going to be an RBI single, and the Owls lead it 1-0. A hard-hit line drive. Sanders, the right fielder, tried to come in and make a diving attempt at it, but it one-hopped and hit off his glove. Gordy Gronkowski has a single and an RBI single at that, scoring Rivera, and we'll take it. A double and a single. That's more offense here that we've seen early on than all day yesterday. 1-0, Owls lead it. And here's Abel Nieves with Gronkowski at first. The pitch coming. That caught the corner outside, 0-1. Nieves, just 9 hits and 43 attempts. He does have 8 RBIs on the year, though. A 209 average for the second baseman who's been splitting time with Tad Brewer. The 0-1 pitch. That breaking ball misses low now, 1-1. Before last year in Casper, this pitcher, Fabian, pitched 2 years in the Dominican League, which you will see so many of these guys that aren't from America do, so many of these guys from down south, whether it be Mexico, they always get most of their starts there down in the Dominican League. That fastball misses in. The count now 2-1 to Abel Nieves. So the Owls have scored the first run here in the ball game in the top of the second. An overcast sky here, some gray clouds rolling in. Not much sun to speak of. We'll get you the look at the Doppler radar here in a bit, as I just saw the first lightning flash, but that's well beyond the center field wall. As that one misses high, 3-1. Hopefully there won't be any rain rolling in, but with that lightning out beyond center field, there must at least be a threat of it. After 14 picture-perfect weather evenings, the last 4 have been kind of touch and go. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That one misses outside, goes all the way to the wall. So the walk, Gronkowski would have advanced to second anyway, despite the wild pitch. He can't advance to third. He stays at second despite a wide turn and a hard look down at third base, but manager Tom Kochman holds him up. Nieves walks, and the runners are at first and second. Still just one man out, and we're not done yet. And here's Ivan Villa-Escusa getting his first start of the 2006 campaign. Just 5 hits, all off the bench so far this season, and 1 hit, 1 for 5. Came in last night and lined one hard to center for a line out. Couldn't get a hit. Of course, the Owls only had 3 hits collectively as a team yesterday after having just 1 hit 2 nights prior. Villa-Escusa swinging at the first ball he sees and rolling it foul down the first base line. The first base coach, Frankie Matos, making the play over there. That bus trip last night was just, I guess brutal would be an understatement. As Villa-Escusa awaits the 0-1 pitch. Fabian comes set, checks Gronkowski and Nieves and comes home. Off-speed pitch, 0-2. He swung at it and missed. Did the switch-hitting catcher, who's not catching tonight. He's the DH in the 8th slot. Peter Bourjos behind him. But that bus trip, like I said, left at about 12:30 last night. Went down through Ogden and over so we could do all interstate, but it took 9.5 hours. Swinging and missing at the 0-2 is Villa-Escusa. He's down on strikes. There's Fabian's second strikeout of the game and the inning. He got Johnson with a strikeout to start it before Rivera's double and Gronkowski's RBI single. So Villa-Escusa down on strikes, and Peter Bourjos will be the batter. Bourjos, despite struggling recently, still batting .300, 18 for 60. He and Phillips, the only two members of the squad with 60 at-bats on the season. Fabian comes set, and here comes the first pitch to Bourjos. Foul back. It's off the screen, 0-1. Of course, Bourjos started the beginning of the year. He was always in center field, but was the leadoff hitter. And then after that series here in Casper, where he struggled and struck out 5 times, manager Tom Kochman decided to move him from the top of the order to the bottom, and there's been great results ever since. This one's grounded to third. A tough in between hop for the third baseman, Milliron, who throws late to first base. See if they score that an infield hit or an error. I think that's going to be a hit. That was a tough in between hop for the third baseman, Milliron, to field, but no, it is an error. So E5, Bourjos reaches first. Milliron, after Bobligat, tried to recover and throw quickly to first, but Speedy Bourjos got down there in a hurry, running hard all the way out of the box, and now the bases are loaded for Ryan Mount, who grounded out back in the last inning to the second baseman, Nazario. See if we have better luck here with Mount. Here comes the pitch. This one's bounced to the third baseman, Milliron. He fields it high and goes to second, and out. Running to second is Peter Bourjos. If he would have slid, he may have been in there safely, but Bourjos went in trying to stand up and got out by about a half a step. So the high hopper off the bat of Mount ends it. The Owls leave them loaded, but we do get one. Going to the bottom of the second, you're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Hey, Owls fans. Dave Adams Classic Auto Repair is the premier collision repair specialist in Utah County. They have 3 locations, one in Lehigh, 2 in Orem. Any accident, fender bender, paint, or body work to be done, Dave Adams is the place to do it. Dave Adams is donating a car to charity. Go by any Dave Adams location or stop by the Booster Club booth at any Owls home game before August 15th for details. Dave Adams Classic Auto Repair wishes the Orem Owls good luck, and go Owls!
Oh, what a game!
Looking to get in shape for cheap? Look no further than Dumbbells Gym in Pesa. Located on South Main, Dumbbells Gym offers monthly memberships for just $20. And if you sign up for 6 months, that price drops to just $10 a month. Nobody along the Wasatch Front can match these unbeatable prices. And this isn't some corporate workout place. It's a local, family-owned gym with no contracts or gimmicks whatsoever. Call Dumbbells Gym today at 465-5633 or log on to dumbbellsgym.com for more information.
Are you planning on entertaining in your home? Do you find yourself crossing your fingers that just this once your sink will drain and your toilet won't act up? Well, uncross those fingers and call Healy Plumbing. Since 1978, we've specialized in residential and commercial drain cleaning, hot water heaters, and sewer cameras for thorough inspections. We even install water softeners. So call Healy Plumbing today at 798-3513 and watch your troubles go down the drain. Healy Plumbing, proud sponsor of your Orem Owls.
Second, the Owls get the first run in the top half of this inning, an RBI single to Gordy Gronkowski. However, we had a chance for more, but left them loaded as Ryan Mount hit a high chopper to third. Milliron went to second and got the out there to end the inning. So 4, 5, 6 to up in the order, Augustine, Suarez, and Sandez. This one, first pitch to Augustine, is hit into shallow right. Going back is Rivera. He's got it. And there is out number 1. Ball carrying a little bit further than I anticipated, but well shy of the track, and Rivera squeezes it for the first out. Here in the bottom of the second inning. So that'll bring up Steven Suarez on the roster. They have him listed as a catcher, but every game that we've played him, he's been at first base. And actually, all 3 catchers on their roster are in the lineup tonight. 1 catching, 1 DH, and 1 first baseman. Here's Steven Suarez, who bats from the left side. First pitch misses out, 1-0. Cassevah from the wide to the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss through the fastball by him, 1-1. You'll see Cassevah throw the fastball, a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer that he has. Likes to throw the 2-seam a little bit more because it has good sink on it. He'll throw from 88 to 93 miles per hour. Also has a solid slider and a good changeup. And this one misses outside. That's the fastball. Stayed out, 2-1 now to the first baseman for the Rockies. Cassevah looking into Knazik. Getting the sign, and here comes the 2-1 pitch, and that one misses low and away, 3-1. On the season so far for Steven Suarez, 17 for 50, 340. But the man in the order that's been the hottest is at the top of the order, Héctor Gómez, hitting 400 and on top of the league in hits with 24. Also, second in the league in batting total with the 400 average. Here comes the pitch. That one missed high and outside. The 3-1 misses, and Suarez goes down to first base, and that's the second man that Cassevah has walked. And now Jorge Sandez. Sandez, a late signee like Jay Cox. And Sandez only batted 7 times so far in a couple of games, and still searching for his first hit is the right fielder, batting 6th. And the left-hander. And Cassevah's first pitch to him misses high and outside, 1-0. Sandez, 6'1", 210, a free agent signee last year in 2005, was actually in the Blue Jays organization last year, played at Pulaski as this pitch coming, and that's a called strike over the inside corner to even the count of 1 apiece. 2005, Pulaski, which is in Virginia, the Appalachian League, the rookie league for the Blue Jays club. He batted .250, 3 homers, and 11 RBIs. That coming in 31 games. Yeah, the 1-1 pitch coming to him. This one's hit to right field. Pretty deep, but way foul. And that one's going to get out of play and give us our first chance to get a Glass Savers comic relief clip.
Hey, there's even a fridge. This is great. You can put 6 packs of soda in here. Milk, yogurt, you can put candy bars in the freezer.
The 1-2 coming, misses outside, 2-2. As always, you can visit Glass Savers in Linden for all of your automobile glass needs. They are your one-stop shop for glass saving. And they will be providing those comic relief clips like you just heard for the entire 2006 season. Here comes a 2-2 pitch, a breaking ball, or excuse me, I should say a changeup, but it stays upstairs. Jorge Sandez thought about offering at it, but laid off, and now the count is 3-2. Now the sun peeking through some of those dark clouds. Did check out the Doppler radar on weather.com, and just some very scattered, isolated thunderstorms as that one misses outside, and another free pass given up by Cassevah. So now runners at first and second. And again, this has been what's plaguing Cassevah so far this season. The struggle to get the ball over the plate as Zeke Zimmerman makes the trot out to the mound. Scott Knazik, the catcher, is going to come out as well, and we're going to have a 3-man conference to try and figure out how we can get this ball over the plate. Mike Milliron, the third baseman, will be standing in, and Milliron no easy out. Tied for the league lead with 7 doubles on the season for Mike Milliron, 9 extra base hits total, as he has a pair of triples as well. Zeke Zimmerman has a couple words with Cassevah, now retreats, as always wearing the stopwatch around his neck to time his pitchers and their pickoff moves and the amount of time it takes them to get that ball to the plate. Knazik back behind, home. And this crowd trying to get into it. They trail it 1-0 to your Orem Owlz. We're only at the bottom of the second from Mike Lansing Field. Cassevah trying to get out of a mess here. Here comes the first pitch to Milliron. That misses upstairs, 1-0. Milliron from DuBois, Pennsylvania. 6'1", 190. He's an infielder. Batting from the right side. Loading this lineup, though, with lefties tonight against the right-hander Cassevah. That one caught the corner. There we go, 1-1. Now the count on Milliron, who was a 30th round draft pick in 2005. Played at Penn State and then Tri-City. Graduated from Penn State University. Cassevah comes set, checks his runners at first and second, and the 1-1 coming home. Breaking ball, caught the corner. Milliron didn't think so. And a few folks sitting behind home plate that saw that slider break towards the outside didn't think so either. But it's a 1-2 count. To number 29, Mike Milliron. Cassevah's ready, looking over his shoulder to check the runners and coming home. That one's fouled down the right side and out of play, 1-2. The Rockies wearing their black uniforms today. They actually get a lot of their uniforms sent directly from the parent club after spring training. Whatever numbers aren't filled up by their parent club, the Colorado Rockies, get shipped down here to the rookie level team. Yeah, the 1-2 pitch coming, and this one's fouled back, high pop fly, and that's going to get out of play as well. 1-2 still. They've got the black jerseys with the purple trim, and then the white pinstripe pants. Your Orem Owlz in their away gray with the red trim. Of course, the cutoff jerseys with the red short sleeve shirts underneath. Cassevah puts the ball in the mid, comes set, fires home, slider, caught the corner, got him looking. Down goes Milliron. There's Cassevah's second strikeout tonight, and it's a big one, the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Austin Rauch, the DH. See if we can get out of this without any damage done. Rauch so far on the season for the Casper Rockies with just 133, 4 hits and 30 attempts, so he's been struggling big time offensively. He's struck out 11 times as well. Cassevah's first pitch to him is fouled back to the screen, 0-1. Good fastball, a little late on it was Rauch. 12th round this year in 2006, taken straight out of high school. Born in 1988, so a real youngster here in Rauch. 6'3", 210. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to him. This one's hit hard in the left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. We're going to have a play at the plate. The throw coming in from left. The tag applied by the catcher, Scott Kanazik, and they got him. Great throw from the left fielder. Tyler Johnson was a tad off the mark to the left, but Kanazik did a great job of grabbing it and sweeping in to tag the runner coming in, Steven Suarez, and the inning is over. So the Owls get a great play in left. The single does not produce the RBI, and we're going to the third, still leading at 1-0. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. That's exactly what people have come to expect from Buchanan Access Systems. We have years of experience in security access control systems. We have the right automatic gate, card reader, or keypad to fit your needs. Whether you're looking for sales or service, for that little extra, contact Buchanan Access Systems. Find us in your yellow pages. Buchanan Access Systems, securing homes and businesses for a better future.
And catch your favorite minor league team on the web at MILB.com, where it's fun to be a fan. Get in the game and get live scores, news, standings, schedules, tickets, and more. And suit up in team gear from the MILB Shop, the official online shop of minor league baseball. Join the millions of fans who just can't get enough of the game at MILB.com. There's nothing minor about it. It's where minor league baseball is always on.
Phone Directories Company is proud to be the official phone directory of the Orem Owlz. We cover Utah with 15 great directories, all designed with Utah communities in mind. Our phone book has everything you need, from menu guides, money-saving coupons, area maps, recreation information, and our new audio information line. Let us make the difference in your business. Advertise today. Phone Directories Company, great people, great books, great results. For advertising info, call 1-866-58-GO-PDC.
Top of the third, the Owls trying to get back in the win column after dropping the decision last night at Idaho Falls and now losing 3 of the last 4, all at the hands of the Chuckers. But we do have a 1-0 lead here. P.J. Phillips, Scott Kanazik, Tyler Johnson. Fabian working his third inning of work, and P.J. Phillips, the first pitch he sees, he grounds on a line to second baseman Nazario. Nazario picks it up and fires to first and retired 4-3 as P.J. Phillips. 1 pitch, 1 out. The play to end last inning, the single came from Rauch, but left fielder Johnson picked it up on 1 hop. It was a hard-hit line drive. Saw that Steven Suarez was trying to score from third and fired home quickly as Kanazik fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. The throw was a little to the outside of the batter's box to Kanazik, so he had to field it quickly and then jump right in to catch a diving Steven Suarez at the plate as Kanazik grounds this one to third. Good play by Milliron. He throws across, but it's low and gets by the catcher, or first baseman Suarez, And Cassevah will go to second base, and the Owls will have a runner in scoring position. I believe they're going to have to call that a throwing error for E5, which would be the second error already in the third inning for Mike Milliron. Made a great play to his left, got up and fired the ball, but just threw it low, and it got by Suarez, and just like that, Cassevah at second base. And speaking of that play at the plate, Cassevah did a great job of jumping out and tagging Suarez, barely catching the jersey, but Alex Ortiz, the home plate umpire, was there, punched him out, and the Owls got out of the bottom of the second. And now we're threatening in the third. First pitch from Fabian to Johnson is low and in, 1-0. And we have, that's one thing that we've been helped by this season, our errors by our defensive opponents. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to TJ, inside, 2-0. Johnson struck out his first time last inning. Luis Rivera, who got the double and scored the game's only run, is on deck. Johnson has a pair of homers on the season, a pair of long homers, back-to-back solo shots at home against Idaho Falls, the 1-0 coming. And that one gets by the catcher, Augustine, and Cassevah's going to get to third base. It was a breaking ball that actually Johnson swung at and missed. But Augustine stuck the mitt out there. It hit off the end of his glove and got all the way to the wall, and I think they're going to have to call that a pass ball. That should not have gotten by the catcher, Augustine. But it did. Now the count is 1-1 on Johnson, and our catcher, Scott Cassevah, stands 90 feet away from making this a 2-0 ball game. Infield is in for the Rockies now, trying to prevent the run. They're standing just where the dirt meets the grass on the infield, and here comes the pitch. That one's high and in. 2-1 now to Tyler Johnson. Johnson, as I said, was batting up around 400 through 30 attempts, but he's hit a little bit of a cold spell and dropped down to 317. Does have 9 RBIs, which is tied for the league lead with Chris Pettit, or the team lead. Here comes the pitch. That one misses low. The scoreboard was incorrect. That was actually a 3-1 pitch. And it's outside, so that puts Johnson down at first base with a walk. I apologize for not being with it on the count. It's what 10 hours on a bus and 2 hours of sleep will do to you, I guess. So the runner's now at the corners, and the batter, Luis Rivera, doubled the first time, came around to score. And he knocked that ball down the line, but still the outfielders playing him to hit it to opposite field. At a very deep park here, 355 down the left field line, 345 down the right field line, and the runner going from first as it's fouled back to the screen by the batter, Rivera. 0-1. Johnson was breaking for second. Cassevah, of course, not trying to steal home in this position. He stayed at third base at an 0-1 count on the right fielder for the Owls. So it's good to see some offense, or at least some threatening offense, getting the run in the second, and now having the runners on the corners and threatening for more. One man out of the top of the third. Fabian. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. This one's hit it hard in the hole between the shortstop and third baseman, Gómez and Milliron. It's an RBI single for Rivera. And the Owls have a 2-0 lead. And he placed that perfectly. It couldn't have been placed any more perfect. With the third baseman in and the shortstop Gómez back at double play depth with the runners at the corners, he hit it right in between Milliron and Gómez. Milliron dove, couldn't come up with it. Gómez dove, couldn't come up with it. And it got into left field to Kevin Clark. Cassevah comes in from third, and the Owls lead at 2-0. And we're not done yet. Johnson at second, now Rivera at first, and the batter, Gordy Gronkowski, who had the RBI single last inning. Fabian's first pitch to him is a breaking ball. Good pitch there, right over the middle. Started out right at heading for Gronkowski and then broke across the plate. Gronkowski backing out. And it broke right down Broadway, 0-1. The righty comes set on the hill. Gives Johnson a glare at second and throws the same breaking ball. This one, however, does not break enough. It stays in on Gronkowski, and the count even now at 1-1. Gronkowski with that RBI, 3 RBIs now on the season. He has earned 8 walks, which is the team lead in that category. Now they're going to check Johnson back to second. He's diving in safely. Weak pickoff move there as Nazario, the second baseman, came over to cover. Just trying to keep him at bay. Tom Kochman, the manager, does like to do quite a few hit and runs. We've seen that a lot so far this season. Here comes the 1-1 to Gordy. This one's tapped weakly foul onto down to the left side. Actually went to the on-deck circle where Abel Nieves, the next batter in the order, made a barehanded catch. So now the count is 1-2 on the 6'6", 250. Boy from Buffalo, New York, who I had lunch with today, and you really can't appreciate how big that kid is until you sit next to him. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gordy comes up empty. They're going to throw down to second. They're going to tag Johnson out and end the inning. Johnson was leaning way towards third base on the swinging miss by Gronkowski. The catcher, Augustine, noticed it. He fired down to second. Gomez, the shortstop, covered and applied the tag, and the inning is over. Another base-running blunder by the Owls. We do get a run, though, and lead it 2-0. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Does it seem like, with all you have to do around the house during the summer, that the season is over before you even get a chance to enjoy it? Well, if painting is on your to-do list, call Seeley Painting and Drywall. You'll be impressed with professionalism and their price. Save time and money this season by calling Seeley Painting and Drywall at 801-687-2115. See them in the Dex Quest phone book. Seeley Painting and Drywall. No one ever asked who your plumber was, but they always ask who the painter is.
Jake Burns here for Utah Community Credit Union.
Jake, what are you doing?
Well, Deb, it's UCCU's 50th anniversary, and I want to let people know we're celebrating.
But when you're home, could you tone it down a little bit?
I can't tone down the excitement for UCCU's special rate on auto and home equity loans.
I know you're excited.
Did you know that UCCU is offering a fixed-rate auto loan as low as 5.95%?
Yes, it's just that while we're eating.
Or a fixed home equity loan also as low as 5.95%?
Can't we eat dinner without all this?
loans as low as 5.95%, and no closing fees. Deb, no fees.
But didn't you...
But you have to act now. Rates are going up July 1st.
Jake, where are you going?
I'm calling UCCU right now to lock in this fabulous rate.
But didn't you call them this morning and last night?
Baby.
Give Utah Community Credit Union a call right now at 223-8188 to sign up and lock in this special low rate. That's 223-8188. Available on approved credit. Equal housing lender, member NCUA. If you live, work, or attend school in Utah, Wasatch, or Juab County, you can join Utah Community Credit Union. What does it mean to you?
Towards the bottom of the third, the Owls leading it 2-0. A position that we haven't found ourselves very often, leading the ball game over these past 6 or 7 attempts. But we're leading here tonight 2-0. As we go to the bottom of the third, we'll get you a look at the Pioneer League scoreboard update sponsored by Same Day Electric. But first, let's deal with Cassevah firing to Radames Nazario, the 9th batter in this order. First pitch is a strike over the corner, 0-1. Cassevah has walked 3, but hasn't surrendered any runs yet. The 0-1 coming. This one's grounded sharply to Nieves and right through his legs. E4 and Nazario reaches to start off the third, and already the third error of this ball game between the two teams. 2 errors by their third baseman, Mike Milliron, and now one by our second baseman, Abel Nieves, and they've got the leadoff runner on for the second time tonight here in the bottom of the third. Great Falls in Missoula. Great Falls jumping out really early, getting already 9 runs, and they're only in the 5th, 9-1. Great Falls leads the Osprey of Missoula. And they're actually scheduled to play a doubleheader there as the bunt is laid down by Héctor Gómez, but foul down the third base line. Nazario will retreat to first, and Gómez will return to the plate with an 0-1 count. Billings leading Helena 3-0. That one just in the second inning. And Ogden and Idaho Falls just underway in Idaho Falls, where they do the later start at 7:15. That one's in the bottom of the first, and they are scoreless so far. Hopefully we can get some help from our northern Utah neighbors. We could use a win from Ogden. And then if we could hang on here and beat Casper, although it's early, we're winning 2-0, we could pull back even with them in the Pioneer League Southern Division. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Gómez not bunting, but he's swinging at a fastball at his head. and late on it. He came up empty. Now the count's 0-2. So Cassevah throwing a high fastball and getting Gómez to chase a bad one. Kevin Clark on deck. Cassevah comes set. Glares over his shoulder at Nazario. And that hit him, but did it hit his bat? Chris Pettit, number 14. And that one was high and in on the fastball from Cassevah, but that actually hit the bat. So instead of it looked from here like he got plunked in the shoulder, but it hit his bat, and the count's still at 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is a slider that catches the corner, and down goes Gómez. Second strikeout looking for the Rockies. Third strikeout of the night for Cassevah, and we'll take it. So after it looked like he was going to plunk him and put runners on first and second, Cassevah got the ball to hit his bat, and then threw the slider over the outside corner, got Gómez looking. One man down, and here's Kevin Clark, the left fielder, who struck out back in the first. Cassevah's first pitch is high and inside, and it gets by Kanazik, and that's going to give Nazario the chance to head down to second base. And that's going to have to be a pass ball on the catcher. He should have had that one. Kanazik tried to squeeze it. It was a high inside fastball that brought him out of the crouch, but he was there in time to catch it with a glove. But when he squeezed, it popped out. So now the runner's at second, and a 1-0 pitch coming to Kevin Clark. Here it comes. That one's low and in, 2-0. That scoreboard update that we gave you, as always, sponsored by Same Day Electric. They're proud to support Owlz baseball. They have skilled technicians that are professionally trained, background checked, and yes, even drug tested. Call them at 377-SAME. Visit them online, SameDayElectric.com. Fouled back over the screen and out of play. A 2-1 count now on Clark, the left fielder. And the Owlz, we're just noticing, have a new center fielder. It's Chris Pettit. So Peter Bourjos, I don't know if he must have sustained some sort of an injury. He's out of the game now, and Chris Pettit in center field. Line to the left side and in the dugout, a foul ball off the bat of Clark, 0-2. And I don't want to announce an injury, and actually now that I think about it, manager Tom Kochman was very disgusted when Bourjos did not slide into second base and made the third out of that inning back in the second to leave the bases loaded when Mount hit the high chopper to Mike Milliron. As the 2-2 pitch comes home, that one's outside, 3-2 now, a full count to Clark with Nazario at second base. And just this inning, Pettit entered the game at center field for Bourjos, and I'm going to guess, just speculation, that manager Tom Kochman took Bourjos out because of that poor base running. This one's popped up on the infield. The second baseman, Nieves, is there, so is Mount, but Nieves will take it. And Cassevah induces a full count pitch pop-up by Kevin Clark on the infield, and now there are two men down. Nazario still at second, and the batter will be Jay Cox. It's one of the things manager Tom Kochman has said throughout this season so far. It's been kind of a roller coaster ride. We seem to get a win, a loss, a win, a loss. We can't string many wins together. Our longest streak actually was here against Casper when we swept them, escaped that final game of the three-game set, winning it 3-2. And moving to 5-2 on the season. Since then, we've been back on the win-loss streak as the first pitch to Cox is fouled to the left side. But manager Tom Kochman's been very disgusted with the base running. And we've seen Johnson get caught running past second base, heading to third, and got thrown out by the catcher at second base tonight. And we saw Bourjos not slide into second. And in the second inning to leave the bases loaded. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. This one's grounded up the middle and past Mount and into center field. Pettit's going to come up, and he's going to throw home. The throw is wide, and the runner scores. And the Rockies are on the board with an RBI single off the bat of Jay Cox. That run will be unearned, however, because Nazario reached on the air by Nieves, moved to second on the pass ball. So unfortunately, they manufactured their run that way against some poor Owlz defense, and now the lead is cut in half. It's 2-1. But at any rate, getting back to the base running and Bourjos not sliding into second, he's out of the game, whether it be because of that or maybe an injury he could have sustained. But we're speculating it's because of not sliding into second base. Chris Pettit in center field. The runner at first And now Jason Augustine, the batter, Cassevah fastball catches the corner on the outside, 0-1 to the right-hand cleanup hitter, Jason Augustine. Cassevah comes set, checks there's runner Cox at first and fires home. This one's hit into shallow right field. It's going to drop for a hit. Nieves tried to chase it into the outfield, but it gets down, and because it was hit so slowly and perfectly placed off the bat of Augustine, it gives Cox the chance to run around second and go to third. So now the tying run is 90 feet away, and the runners are at the corners for Steven Suarez, who walked last inning in the second. Catcher Scott Kanazik steps out a few feet in front of the plate to give his infielders some direction. There are 2 men out, so the infield not in to prevent a run. Everyone back at normal depth, and Gordy Gronkowski holding Augustine on at first base. Cassevah comes set and kicks and fires home, and this one's popped up foul. Going to get out of play. Phillips gives chase along the third base line, but it's 7 or 8 rows up here in the stands of Mike Lansing Field, named after the former Rocky Mike Lansing, who began with his career with that team, actually ended his career, I believe, with the St. Louis Cardinals back in '99. The 0-1 pitch coming now from Cassevah. That's a fastball that brings Kanazik out of the crouch, a 1-1 count. Augustine over there at first, kind of bluffing to go a couple times, see if he's going to be on the move and try and put 2 runners into scoring position and take away the force at second base. The 1-1 pitch, he's not going, and the ball's low and outside, 2-1. Cassevah stepping off the rubber to regather himself. The error by Abel Nieves allowed Nazario to get on to start the inning. A pass ball put him at second, and then the RBI single brought him in with 2 outs here. That pitch is high and outside, 2-1 the count now. They did leave 1 on last inning and hit into a twin killing in the first, did the Rockies of Casper. So they've had their base runners. The 3-1 is inside, and the 4th walk of the game surrendered by Bobby Cassevah to Suarez. Suarez has been the recipient of 2 of those walks, and he heads down to first to load the bases. Suarez at first, Augustine at second, Cox, who has the RBI single, at third, and yet again, here comes Zeke Zimmerman out of the Owlz dugout. Kanazik going out there as well, and they're going to have a conference on the mound. You can be a member of the Night Owls, headed up by nobody else than the lovely Brenda Ridley. The Booster Club for the Orem Owls, the Night Owls. Go to Night Owls, of course, with a K, K-N-I-G-H-T, Owls with a Z.org to sign up today. Just $10 a person. Or you can sign up the whole gang, the entire family, for just $35, no matter if you have 2 kids or 27. Sign them all up for $35. Kids 4 to 13, speaking of children, can be a member of the Junior Night Owls. Great perks. Sign up today, folks. Go to nightowls.org. Zeke Zimmerman retreating back to the dugout. Kanazik back behind home plate. The batter will be the left-handed hitting right fielder, Jorge Sandez, who has a chance to give Casper either the tie or the lead here in the bottom of the third. The Owls getting 1 in the top of the second and 1 in the top of this inning to take a 2-0 lead. For the Rockies, got an RBI single from Cox. And this one's hit into left center field. Johnson's going over, so is Pettit, but Johnson is there and he's got it. If it wasn't hit so high, it could have gotten down and been big-time trouble in there for extra bases. But Johnson gets over in time, retires Sandez, and the Rockies leave a runner at every base. We played 3, Owls 2, Rockies 1. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
When it comes to firearms, bearing arms is your right. Gun safety is your responsibility. Never fire rounds into the air for any occasion. Store your firearms out of the reach of children, and always use trigger locking devices and gun safes. A community service reminder from Sportsman's Warehouse, where they offer a complete line of quality hunting, fishing, and camping supplies. Visit them on South University Avenue in Provo, or see them online at sportsmanswarehouse.com. Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter.
Dumbbells Gym, a locally owned workout facility in Payson with the cheapest prices along the Wasatch Front, has recently launched a new website, vitaminsfordummies.com. Vitaminsfordummies.com is home to over 10,000, yes, 10,000 health products and workout supplements at simply unbeatable prices, delivered right to your doorstep. You don't even have to leave your home. That's Vitamins for Dummies, DUMMYS. Vitamins for Dummies, a product of Dumbbells Gym in Payson. Log on today.
With energy costs soaring higher than an Owlz homer, it's important that your cooling system is working at peak performance. So call Triple T Heating and Cooling. We feature service and repairs on all makes and models of heating and cooling systems. And come winter, we can set you up with a warm, energy-efficient gas fireplace. Serving all of Utah County, visit our showroom at 1550 North Main in Spanish Fork or log on to TripleTHeating.com. Triple T Heating and Cooling. Comfort from our family to yours for over 32 years.
Here we go to the fourth. Casper getting one in the bottom of the third to cut the Orem lead in half. It's now 2-1. Abel Nieves, Ivan Villa-Iscusa, and Chris Pettit into the game for Peter Bourjos will be batting in the ninth slot. So 7, 8, 9 due up for the Owlz. And here comes the 0-1 pitch to Nieves. It's hit sharply up the middle, but a good backhand by the second baseman, Nazario, and a throw to first to get him. Great play by Nazario. 4-3 on the putout, one man down here in the top of the fourth. That was hit hard up the middle. Fabian, the pitcher, made an attempt to get his glove down there while he simultaneously kicked his leg up to avoid it from hitting him in the shin. And racing over after Fabian couldn't get it was the second baseman, Nazario. He backhanded it in the hole and fired over to Suarez at first to get Nieves. And here's the switch-hitting catcher who's hitting in the DH spot tonight, the eighth spot in the order. Ivan Villa-Iscusa, the first pitch to him is fouled down the left side and out of play, 0-1. And the kids give chase. Here in Mike Lansing Field, at Mike Lansing Field, there's a section down there similar to what we have in Orem, the berm grassy areas. The 0-1 is hit foul down the right side this time. 0-2, Villa-Iscusa spreading them both left and right now. It doesn't go up on a hill like it does in Orem, but there's a picnic area out there down to the left side where kids and families can sit and watch the ball game. And then from dugout to dugout, there's the bleacher and box seating area. And it holds 2,500, but they tell me with those picnic areas down to the left and also to the right side where there's a purple and white tent just beyond the Rockies dugout, you can hold about 3,000 in this place. A beautiful park, good facility, and I can tell you what, it's much better to be up in this press box in Idaho Falls. The 1-2 pitch coming. That caught the corner. Villa-Iscusa down looking. Fourth strikeout for Fabian. The first time that he faced us back here in that three-game set when he pitched the third game and gave up the 2 runs in 5 innings, he did strike out 6. He's struck out 4 here so far, and the first 2 are retired in the fourth. So here's Chris Pettit, who came into the game for Peter Bourjos. Bourjos leaves the game after just a couple innings played. Bourjos reached on an error back in the second and his only at-bat. The first at-bat for Chris Pettit. The fastball misses low and outside. 1-0. Pettit 9 for 33, 273 on the season. A couple of nights ago, he was the hero up in Idaho Falls. Had 3 RBIs. He was helped out by a misplay, getting it lost in the lights by their center fielder Dickerson in the top of the ninth that allowed 2 runs to come home, and they scored it a triple because it never touched Dickerson's glove as the 1-0 had swung on and missed. 1-1 now to Chris Pettit. But at any rate, it was a 2 RBI triple. He had an RBI single and a run scored as well earlier, and he was the hero in that Owlz 4-2 victory. Tied for the team lead with 9 RBIs. The 1-1 pitch coming to him. Low and in, 2-1. Pettit hailing from San Dimas, California. Product of this year's draft in the 19th round. And born in 84, 6'1", 190. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. He's late on a Fabian fastball. 2-2. is the count on the Owls center fielder. Second time we've seen him out in center field. Saw him out there a couple of nights ago, but usually has been the left fielder for the Owls. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, deuces, roll 'em, and Fabian rolls that one right by Pettit. He did swing, but he came up empty. Second strikeout of the inning, 5th on the game for Fabian. Owls do have a 2-1 lead, though, through 3.5. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Hey, Vance, do you have lights flickering in your home, outlets not working, fuse boxes making sizzling noises, or breakers that won't reset? Don't just call an electrician. Call Any Hour Electric. We offer modest, straightforward pricing and extended hours for your convenience. All our work is 100% guaranteed. In fact, if your problem comes back, so do we, free of charge, serving all of Utah and Salt Lake counties. Find Any Hour Electric in your Yellow Pages and online at anyhourelectric.com.
Any Hour Electric, where your problem is now our problem.
Hey, up here, it's your roof. I don't mean to sound selfish or anything, but I see how you baby a car, washing, waxing, polishing. What about me? I protect the whole family, the dog, even that darn car. Now, it's not easy fending off Mother Nature's fury. Why not give me a hand and call Proper Roofing? They're residential re-roofing experts specializing in asphalt shingles, single-ply membrane, and metal roofs. For a free estimate, call Proper Roofing at 225-5900. Proper Roofing, providing guaranteed quality for over 25 years.
With energy costs soaring higher than an Owl's homer, it's important that your cooling system is working at peak performance. So call Triple T Heating and Cooling. We feature service and repairs on all makes and models of heating and cooling systems. And come winter, we can set you up with a warm, energy-efficient gas fireplace. Serving all of Utah County, visit our showroom at 1550 North Main in Spanish Fork or log on to TripleTHeating.com. Triple T Heating and Cooling. Comfort from our family to yours for over 32 years.
We go to the fourth. We already have a phone directories company call to the bullpen. The new pitcher for the Orem Owls here in the fourth will be Blake Collar, the left-hander from Stanford, originally from Terre Haute, Indiana. Phone directories company, let them make the difference in your business. Advertise with them today by calling 866-58-GO-PDC, G-O-P-D-C, phone directories company. Great people, great books, great results. The first pitch fired from the left-hander is a called strike, 0-1, the count on Mike Milliron. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That fastball stays high and outside. 1-1. Milliron struck out in the second inning. Milliron stands back in there. Holler looks into his catcher, comes set, and here comes the 1-1. Fouled off right there at the plate and actually off the inside of his left foot of Milliron. Count 1-2. That's why you see so many of those players, and increasingly more and more, wearing that inside shin protector to protect them from those foul balls that go down and catch them on the inside of their leg. Blake Collar, so far in the season, this is his 6th appearance. Been used frequently, 7 1/3 innings, all in relief. Given up 2 earned runs. He gets a swing and a miss from Mike Milliron, but the ball goes by the catcher Kanazik and all the way to the screen. So it's a strikeout, but Milliron goes down and reaches first base. So a tough break there for Holler. And now the runner is at first base, and the batter will be Austin Rauch. Rauch singled in the second inning. But getting back to Holler's numbers, 7 1/3, giving up 2 earned runs on 7 hits, and he struck out 10. And now he's dealing with Rauch, who's singled back in the second. Here comes the first pitch to him, outside, 1-0. Holler, as I said, pitched for Stanford, played a couple of summers in the Cape Cod League, really where the scouts got him looking at him hard, and pitched well there in between his sophomore and junior seasons. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from the lefty. That one stays outside, 2-0 now. And he's been used out of the bullpen as many times as anybody. He and Felipe Arredondo both now being used 6 times already on the season out of the pen. Holler comes set. Looks at his runner at first base and fires the 2-0 home. It's high and outside, 3-0. His last outing was a couple of days ago. The last game at home against Idaho Falls, he went 2 1/3, gave up 3 hits and 1 earned run, although 3 runs came home, 2 of them were unearned, and he struck out 4 as the 3-0 comes, and that catches the corner, outside fastball, 3-1. He did give up his first home run of the season in that last outing to Jace Turner, who hit the long bomb last night. So Turner has a couple of home runs against the Owls in that 6-game set that we just got done playing with them. So a 2.45 ERA for Holler. The runner going, a hit and run works to perfection, a base hit to right field, and going to third on the play is Milliron. The runners are at the corners, and the throw gets by Phillips, the third baseman, as it came in from the right fielder Rivera. But a great job. Credit Blake Holler with a heads-up play, the pitcher knowing what to do and backing up his third baseman, and saved a run there. So the runners are at the corners now, and there's nobody out. So they're threatening to tie it. Here are the Rockies. The Owls yet to have a 1-2-3 inning. We did only face 3 batters in the first, but that's because we induced a ground-out double play. Did Bobby Cassevah, the starter, a 5-4-3 after walking the leadoff hitter Gómez. So the Rockies have had their base runners, trailing at 2-1 and threatening to even things. Radames Nazario, who reached on an error last inning, stands in. The runner goes from first, but as Nazario fouls it off, he'll retreat back to first base. Will Austin Rauch in an 0-1 count on the second baseman. Time for the Bank of America Fork transaction update, which is still all clear, but as I said last night, maybe getting a new face here in a few days when we get back home. We've still yet to see Leonardo Calderon, who's going to be working out of the bullpen that we got a little over a week ago. As the second pitch is coming, and that's hit right back to Holler off his glove. His only play is going to be to first, and he can't even make that one. It was hit right back to him, popped off the end of his glove as he reached up to grab it. But by the time he picked it up and recovered after it squirted away from him, he thought about throwing to first, but Nazario runs very well, races down there and is safe. The runner does not score from third because the ball was in front of Holler, and had Milliron tried to score, Holler probably would have had him at the plate. But no outs are recorded, and now the bases are loaded. And that is an infield hit. It's a single off the bat of Nazario is the ruling. So no error on Holler, and that's a good call because it was a tough play. He did a good job of smacking it down. First pitch swinging is Héctor Gómez with the bases loaded. He fouls it off 0-1. So things not looking good here in the bottom of the fourth. There's a Rocky at every base. And nobody out. Blake Holler, his first inning here, relief work. Here comes the 0-1 from the lefty. Called strike 0-2. That one was right in there. Gómez kept the bat on his shoulder and looked like he was upset with the call, but that was definitely a strike, a good fastball by the left-hander. Wearing number 5 is Blake Holler. 6'4", 170, tall, lanky kid. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got Gómez. So Gómez goes down swinging, and that's a big out. There's the first out. If we can get Clark here, it would be even bigger. So the base is still loaded. Gómez goes down on strikes for the second time tonight. He's now 0 for 2 with a walk. And here's Clark, who also struck out against Cassevah back in the first and popped out in the third inning. Holler steps off the rubber and now puts the left foot in front. The ball behind his back, and now comes set. From the stretch in the pitch. Low and outside, a 1-0 to the left fielder. Bank of America Fork is closer than you think. They've got over 11 locations along the Wasatch Front and a new Riverton branch opening this fall. Big city banking, small town service. The 1-0 pitch, that one's low and in, 2-0. Visit them, Bank of America Fork, at bankaf.com to locate a branch near you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, your transaction update sponsor, which once again is all clear, but may be busy here in a few days when we get back home. Blake Holler having a 2-0 count on Kevin Clark, and there's nowhere to put him with the bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Here comes the pitch. That's low, and it's 3-0. So now a 3-0 pitch will be coming from Holler to Clark, and you got to imagine he's definitely going to have the red light on here. With 1 man out and the bases juiced. Al still clinging to a 2-1 lead. Holler gets the sign from Kanazik. And the 3-0 pitch. It's low, and he walked him on 4 straight. The ball game is tied. The bases are still loaded. And the batter is the center fielder, Jay Cox, who grounded out in the first inning into an inning-ending 5-4-3 double play. But he had the RBI single, the only other run in the game for the Rockies. In the third inning, last inning, an RBI single that brought in Radames Nazario. He does bat from the left side, so it's a lefty-lefty matchup for Holler. Jay Cox stands in. The base is still loaded. The free pass tying the game at 2. Holler fires home, and there's a strike. That one caught the inside corner. Jay Cox takes it looking, 0-1. Behind Cox will be Augustine, who singled as well. He's the big boy in the order, the cleanup hitter for these Rockies of Casper. Blake Holler fires the 0-1 pitch, and that one's outside and low. Good job by Kanazik to keep it in front of him. And now a 1-1 count on the left-hander. Back on the mound in front of the rubber. Kicking up the right leg, and here comes the 1-1. A little bit low and outside. Kanazik and Holler. Kanazik tried to frame it. Holler wanted the strike just off the outside edge. Alex Ortiz working behind the plate, called it outside. Jason Birdsey on the base paths. So now a 2-1 pitch getting ready to come to Jay Cox. Here we go. Grounded to the right side and through. It's a base hit. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. The throw's going to get cut off by the shortstop Ryan Mount as Rivera was trying to throw to third base but didn't have a chance to get the runner there. It's a 2 RBI single and 3 RBIs now on the game by Jay Cox, the center fielder, and the Owls trail it 4-2. And Jason Augustine, the catcher, stands in there now. 1 for 2 with a single, and the runners are now at the corners. It's Cox at first and Clark at third. Gronkowski almost had that ground ball, but just out of his reach. Hit more towards him than it was the second baseman Nieves off the bat of Cox. But got under the glove and outside of the outstretched arms of Gronkowski and into right field, and now Holler and Kanazik can't agree on a sign. So the Owls were leading at 2-0. We got a run in the top of the second, 1 in the third. We have left the bases loaded in the second and a runner in scoring position in the third. So we could have had more, but we led it 2-0. They got the run in the bottom of the last frame, and now they've struck 3 times here in the bottom of the fourth, and they're not done yet. 1 man out, runners at the corners. Holler now with Kanazik back behind the plate, throws a strike over the outside corner. Good fastball, 0-1. Casper 5-12 on the season, looking for win number 6 after taking 2 of 3 from Ogden. Surprising the Raptors and taking 2 of 3 and looking good. So they're coming in hot. The Owls coming in very cold, especially offensively, as that one misses outside, 1-1. Last 5 games for the Owls on the offensive end, 159. 5 hits per game in just 12 runs. Just about 2 runs a game over the last 5. That 1-1 stays inside, 2-1. Holler throws a fastball from 87 to 92 miles an hour. A good slider that kind of breaks a little bit like a curve, so you could almost call it a slurve, which you will often hear that pitch referred to. And working on a changeup that he hasn't truly mastered, according to Zeke Zimmerman, the pitching coach. Here comes the 2-1. This one's routed on a high chop but foul down the third base line, and the count now at 2-2. So Cassevah started the game. You can close the book on him. He went 3 innings, gave up 1 run, which wasn't earned, that run coming last inning. 3 hits. He did walk 4, struggled with his control, and struck out 3, making the spot start tonight in place of Sean O'Sullivan. The 2-2 is inside, and it gets by Kanazik. Another run is in. The runner moves up to second, and it's 5-2. High inside fastball. Kanazik maybe could have had it, but reached his glove up a little late. It hit off the end. I don't know if they're going to call that a wild pitch or a pass ball. At any rate, it got to the backstop. The runner came in from third, and the Owls again not helping themselves. Of course, the run last inning, the runner got on base when Radames Nazario started it with an error by the second baseman Nieves that put him on first. A pass ball moved him to second, and then they got the RBI single. If neither of those first two defensive blunders happen, that run doesn't score. But it did, and now they've gotten 4 more here in the bottom of the fourth. The runner, Jay Cox, standing at second now. The batter's still Jason Augustine. There's a 2-2 count on him with 1 man out. And the Rockies now having a 5-2 lead. Holler comes set. And here comes the 2-2. High and outside. The scoreboard, I'm going to have to start keeping balls and strikes myself because the scoreboard's not accurate. It's been off a lot. That was a 3-2 pitch. It missed high and outside, and Augustine takes a free pass. The second walk given up by Holler here in the fourth. The 6th walk already in the 4th inning given up by Owlz pitching. So runners at first and second. It does set up a potential double play. The left-handed hitting Steven Suarez stands in there now. He's walked twice tonight. That one's low and in, almost hit his foot. And a 1-0 count. Runners at first and second. 4 runs crossing the plate here for the home squad, the Rockies, here in the 4th, and they've taken control of this one. Holler set. The runner going from second, and now they throw down to second, and he's going to go into third and slide in safely. That was kind of a baited steal there by Jay Cox, who started going to third, ran hard, got halfway in between, and then when the catcher Kanazik caught the ball, he bluffed going back to second base as Kanazik fired down there. As soon as he saw Kanazik take the bait and throw to second, he ran into third and slid in there ahead of the tag coming in from the second shortstop, Ryan Mount. So now the runners are at the corners, and I'm assuming that was a set-up play. If it was, it worked very well, and Kanazik took the bait. And a 2-0 count on Steven Suarez, who's already walked twice. And things kind of falling apart here, you could say, in the old 4th inning. 2-2 pitch. And that one's inside, 2-0 pitch inside, 3-0, a walk would load him. So Holler, like Cassevah, struggling to find the plate here in the 4th. There's good news, though. I'm joined by Mark Burton up here in the booth. No, he doesn't have a headset on, but he's here for moral support, the clubhouse manager who makes these trips with us and handles all the players' laundry and anything that's needed in the clubhouse. As Holler taking his time to try and regather himself and hopefully getting ready to fire a strike here on a 3-0 count to Suarez, who I would imagine will have the red light. High and inside, almost hit him. He walked him. Bases are loaded. Still just 1 man out. And the batter will be Jorge Sandez, who has also walked. And he lined out against Cassevah. This will be his first time against Holler, and this is the 9th batter of the inning. They have now batted around against Blake Holler here in the 4th. Still just 1 man out, and a Casper Rocky in a black jersey at every base, and now Scott Kanazik is going to come out to have a word with Blake Holler. The skies have kind of cleared up. There's still some overcast clouds, mixed white and gray overcast skies here, with the sun shining through every now and then as the lights are now turned on at Mike Lansing Field. But the Doppler radar, there was a thunderstorm that was beyond the center field wall with some lightning, and it looked like rain falling way out beyond in the distance. But that has moved on. That's not coming our way. And looking at the Doppler radar, there's some scattered isolated storms and showers, but it looks like they're going to all avoid the Casper Mike Lansing Field area. As manager Tom Kochman is now going to come out after a long delay there, probably just giving his hurler in the bullpen a chance to warm up. We're going to have a phone directories company call to the bullpen. We'll tell you about it when we get back. You're listening to 960 AM, The Zone.
It's just not enough that you're a careful driver. You still got rear-ended by some clown talking on his cell phone. Unfortunately, we can't change what happened, but we can make it look like it didn't. We're Dynamic Collision Repair, experts in all makes and models of foreign and domestic cars and trucks. Visit us on South State Street, just half a mile east of the Novell Building in Provo, or call 377-7252. Dynamic Collision Repair, quality and expertise since 1979. But don't take our word for it. Ask the guy with a cell phone. He comes in here all the time.
Pioneer Radio and Sports would like to thank the following businesses who are committed to customer service.
This Owlz broadcast is brought to you in part by Bailing Insurance Agency, Payson's hometown agency for over 30 years. By Lewis Jewelry, custom jewelry at less than mall prices. By Same Day Electric, service today or you don't pay. By Cropper Roofing, guaranteed quality for over 25 years. And by Dynamic Collision Repair, quality repairs since 1999. When the Owls built their stadium, they went with a contractor that kept an eye on beauty, comfort, and detail. For your next building project, let Marcon Inc. create a work of art for you. Marcon Inc. also specializes in finish hardware. They have a brand new showroom in downtown Springville with a unique variety of locks, doorknobs, and bathware accessories. Come visit their new showroom today. Marcon Inc. Let them take the hassle out of your construction needs.
Oh, another struggle here tonight. Trailing at 5-2 in the bottom of the fourth, and our third pitcher of the game already coming in there. The bases loaded and one man out. Casper with a 5-2 lead. The new pitcher is number 41, Josh Coles. And Coles, 4.76 ERA on the season. Last outing, 3 innings against Idaho Falls at home in that loss. Gave up just 1 run in the 3 innings pitched. He did strike out 3 and gave up 3 hits. So all total on the season, including that last outing, Coles has pitched 5 2/3, given up 6 hits and 4 runs. So that's the line on Coles, who's actually a converted outfielder, wearing number 41 and throwing right-handed. Played last year in Orem here with Anthony Sullivan, the only 2 players on the roster this year that are returnees, but he was a center fielder, and they liked his hard-throwing right arm and tried to convert him to a pitcher. That's what they've done. Been very successful with it, and he's going to try and get out of a big jam here. He will be facing Jorge Sandez. The first pitch is low and in, 1-0. Jorge is the 9th batter on the inning, so Holler faced 8 men, got 1 man out. 4 runs have come in on the inning, and the bases are juiced. And Cole's first pitch was low and in, so it's 1-0. He's going from the stretch. He's set. And here comes the 1-0. That one's low, 2-0. Between Cassevah and Holler, 7 men were walked. And you can't close the book on Holler yet because he's responsible for all 3 runners out there on the base paths. And Coles, here comes the 2-0. Low and outside, 3-0. Nowhere to put him. And this Casper Rockies crowd liking what they're seeing. Taking 2 out of 3 from division rival Ogden. And now, all over your Orem Owls here so far. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Called strike over the inside corner. Coles got one. Jorge Sandez taking all the way. A left-handed hitter stands back in. From Venezuela. Played last year at the Pulaski Blue Jays and the Toronto Blue Jays organization. And the 3-1 from Coles misses high. He walked it. Another run comes home. It's 6-2. The 4th walk of the inning. The 8th given up today by Owlz pitching. And Mike Milliron, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks, will step in there now. Bases still loaded. Still just 1 man out in what has been our strong suit all season long. The pitching that has held us in so many of these games. Struggling here tonight. Here comes Coles' first pitch inside. And the batter, Milliron, who led off this inning, had to back out of the way to avoid that from hitting him in the side. 1-0. Milliron struck out to start the inning, but the ball got by the catcher Kanazik on a 1-2 pitch in the dirt that he swung at and missed, but it got by and Milliron was able to reach. He would come around and score the first of the 5 runs that have crossed the plate this inning. That 1-0 catches the corner, 1-1. This is the 10th batter in the bottom of the 4th frame. Looked good after the top of the 3rd with the Owls up 2-0. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. This one's hit right at the third baseman Phillips. It bounces in front of him. He doesn't get anybody out, and he throws it by the first baseman, Gordy Gronkowski. 2 runs are going to score, and it is 8-2 with the runners at second and third. It was a hard hit ball to Phillips at third base. It bounced once, came up and caught him in the letters. And now they're going to say the runner from third gets to come home and score because that ball got in the dugout. So a total of 3 runs score on the play. The bases are cleared by the batter, Mike Milliron. He stands at second base now, and the score is 9-2. Anyways, the ball was hit to Phillips. It bounced up and hit him in the chest. The only play that he had was to get the runner running from second to third. He tried to reach out and lunge at him after regrouping and picking up the ball, but he avoided the slide and slid in there safe, and then Phillips tried to throw a late ball to Gronkowski, but threw it wide of the first baseman. And that emptied the bases. And now it's 9-2. The runner at second. The first pitch to Austin Roush is swung on and missed, 0-1. Roush 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Cole's coming set. And the 0-1 pitch. This one's hit high and pretty deep to left. Going back is Tyler Johnson, but he's got room shy of the track, and there's the second out of the inning. A high pop out from Roush. And that was the second error on the game for the Owls. The other one costly as well that allowed a run to score last inning by Abel Nieves. This one brings in a couple runs on the throwing error by P.J. Phillips. And the Rockies have scored 8 times here in the bottom of the 4th. Don't leave us, though, because I'm planning on making this thing entertaining in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how, but we're going to do it. Right, Mark? So stay with us. Low and inside, 1-0 to Radames Nazario. Coles comes set. Looks in, gets a sign from Kanazik and fires, and did that hit the batter? No, almost did. Almost caught his back foot as the breaking ball came inside. Radames Nazario doing an acrobatic jump to get his left leg out of the way and avoid that from hitting him. The count now 2-0. He had an infield single in this inning and has already scored once as well. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a called strike. 2-1 from Coles. So now you can close the book on Holler now that all of his runners are off the bases. But to be honest with you, at this point, I don't know what's been earned and what's not. This has been such an interesting inning. Here comes the 2-1. That one's tapped foul down the right side. 2-2. And starting to get a couple more folks up warming in the bullpen for the Orem Owls. Already using our third pitcher. Here in the 4th, we've walked 8 men. That's really been the story, is the struggle of control, because they've got 9 runs on just 6 hits, and then the 2 errors that we've made have also been costly. That one misses outside, and it'll run it full on Radames Nazario, the 9th batter in the order. And Nazario, 235 on the season. The hit earlier was only his 9th on the year. Here comes the payoff pitch. That one's hit into shallow center field. Pettit's there, so is the left fielder Johnson, but the captain of the outfield, Chris Pettit, who came in for Bourjos earlier, calls it off and squeezes it. But not a good inning. We'll go to the 5th as the Rockies put on an 8th spot at the bottom of the 4th. We're trailing at 9-2. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Are you looking for a special place to take that special somebody to dinner? Then head to Wallaby's Smokehouse. Wallaby's features mouth-watering brisket made fresh daily, pulled pork, and smoked turkey. And you won't want to miss what's new for dessert. Wallaby's Smokehouse. Family-owned, family-operated, and family-friendly. So bring the whole gang by. Wallaby's is located at 131 South State Street. You can also call ahead for takeout at 785-4447. Wallaby's, where you want to be.
Hi, this is Owlz broadcaster Brandon Gaudin. To get rid of our remaining commercial airtime, we are selling our final spots for as little as $15 a piece. For just $15, your company can reach everyone in Utah County on 960 AM. Call 377-BALL and ask for Media Relations to schedule your commercial airtime today. Or you can email radio@oremowls.com. That's 377-BALL, 377-2255, or radio@oremowls.com.
It's time to stop the new car madness. No need to buy a new one. Take care of the car you have. Bring it to AMCO today and get a transmission fluid change for a special price of $49.95. We'll also give you our external diagnostic service free. Love the car you're with. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO.
Participating centers only, not available for vehicles with internal transmission problems. External diagnostic service includes road test fluid and external control check. Additional charges may apply to determine costs of internal repair required. $49.95 most vehicles. Expires December 31st.
No sleep till!
Mount hits a drive over the center field wall to start off the top of the fifth. Sorry, I wasn't here to call it. We had to pay the bills, play the commercial break. But the first pitch that he saw, or should say the second pitch that he saw, from Robinson Fabian here in the top of the fifth, Ryan Mount just belted it to straightaway center field, and it got over the fence and over the batter's eye. A long shot to center by the shortstop Ryan Mount, a solo home run. And it's now 9-3. P.J. Phillips, the batter. And we'll take that after the bottom of last inning where the Rockies put up 8. But we still have much more ground to gain, trailing at 9-3. Here comes the 0-1 to Phillips. Swung on and missed a slider outside, 0-2. He's grounded out twice tonight, has P.J. Phillips, which does stand for Patrick James, just like P.J. Connolly, who pitched last night. It was confirmed that they both stand for Patrick James. And I've known 6 PJs in my life, and I will have you people know that they've all stood for Patrick James. Why do you care? Well, you probably should. The 1-2, swung on and missed. Down goes Phillips on strikes. For the first out here in the fifth. Fabian back out. I told you he pitched 5 innings against us last time and only gave up 2 runs. But with a Mount home run here in the top of the fifth, he's given up 3, but still looking strong. Struck out 6 last time against us here on the 26th of June, and he struck out 6 here so far tonight. Scott Kanazik, the catcher, the batter. The first pitch is a slider that stays down and out, 1-0. Kanazik has reached on an error, but he's 0 for 2. Popping out to the center fielder Cox and his other at bat back in the first. The wide of the 1-0 pitch. Off the corner, 1-1. Kanazik looking back there at Ortiz, asking where that one was, but Ortiz and Birdsey, the umpires here, just like the ones that we had yesterday in Idaho Falls, Kaminsky and Hospatka, those are actually the only 4 umpires we've seen all season, all call a very liberal strike zone. The 2-1 coming to Kanazik, and that's fouled off. It'll stay right there at home plate. As that one actually bounced down and caught the foot of Kanazik, but he's okay. 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 1 man out in the top of the fifth. You're listening to Orem Owlz Baseball on AM 960 KOVO, Kovo, Provo. You can email us your questions and comments at radio@oremowls.com. Swinging and lining it weakly up the middle and off the glove of second baseman Radames Nazario is Scott Kanazik, and he'll reach first. It was a weak liner. Going over to his right was Radames Nazario, the second baseman, and should have had that easily and cleanly. But what I've learned is that you never assume in the Pioneer League. And instead of an easy line drive out, It went off the end of his glove, and Kanazik reaches first on his second air. He's reached on an air by Milliron and now Nazario. And we've got a runner at first with one man out. Tyler Johnson, the batter. He struck out and walked. Here comes the pitch inside and beamed him right on the shoulder. I'm going to go ahead and tap this one as a sloppy ball game here in the fifth. Yeah, wow. So Johnson heads down to first. And you're listening to us saying they're losing 9-3. Maybe I'll turn this guy off. But I'd stay right here, folks. Anything can happen. Runners at first and second, already a run in on the Mount Homer here at the top of the fifth, and just one man out. Kanazik reached on the air. Johnson getting plunked for the fourth time this season, so he's been a target to get thrown at. Everyone has hit him right in the middle of the back on the number 44. Johnson just a happy-go-lucky guy, though. You see him off the field, he's just smiling. He doesn't care. Here comes the first pitch in there to Rivera. It's a strike from Fabian, 0-1. One great thing about these guys, this Owlz club, you couldn't ask for a better group of individuals. Just all great kids. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Robinson Fabian. Breaking ball that just almost hit Rivera. In fact, had he not moved out of the way in the last second, that slider that didn't slide would have hit him in the shoulder, and we would have had the bases loaded. So Fabian trying to regroup. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out at the top of the fifth. Who knows? Now Rivera says, Fabian, son, you're taking way too long for my liking. He steps out. Digs in the right foot, digs in the left. A couple of flicks of the wrist with a bat, and it's over his shoulder, and here comes the 1-1. Grounded sharply to short, could be 2. 6, 4, 3. Gomez, Nazario, Suarez. And the inning is over. We get the solo shot by Mounts going to the bottom of the fifth. We trail by 6. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Advanced Dental Care is your center of cosmetic and laser dentistry. Advanced Dental Care is where Doctors Michael and David Bennett specialize in the latest state-of-the-art procedures. With single-visit crown restoration, tooth-colored fillings, and the new Zoom 2 teeth whitening system, they bring tomorrow's dentistry today. Call for your appointment today at 375-1414.
Doctors Michael and David Bennett are the official team dentists and proud sponsors of Owlz Baseball.
In baseball, the American dream is to make it to the big show and become a pro. Another American dream is to become a homeowner. It's easy. Give the pros at American Dream Mortgage a call. Whether it's your first home or just moving up to fit the family, American Dream Mortgage can get you into the game. Ask about debt consolidation plans, great rates, and low closing costs. Step up to the plate and call American Dream Mortgage at 227-5061. That's 227-5061. Hit a home run and start living the American dream.
Barber Brothers Mitsubishi in Orem offers the finest new and pre-owned vehicles at unbeatable prices. If you want to roam over the Wasatch Front with power and style, you can choose from the Outlander, Montero, or the Endeavor, 3 sporty and roomy SUVs. Or how about a convertible for the hot Orem summer? The new 2006 Eclipse Spider is the top of the heap in style, class, and luxury. To get away from the ordinary, stop by and at least test drive a Barber Brothers Mitsubishi today. Barber Brothers, West University in Orem.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. We built this city on rock and
roll. Here we go to the bottom of the fifth, halfway home. Looking up at the scoreboard, there's all ones and then one crooked number there. First through 5 innings, it's the 8-run spot that the Casper Rockies put up at the bottom of last inning. Josh Cole's back out here for his second inning of work, and he's pitching to Héctor Gómez, the leadoff hitter. It's a called strike. Gómez has struck out twice and walked. One of 8 walks surrendered by Owlz pitching. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's the slider that's in there, 0-2. And in a second here, we will give you the Major League Baseball scoreboard update, as always, sponsored by Same Day Electric. But first, we'll wait for this 0-2 pitch coming from Josh Coles. Here it comes. Tap to the left side on a high hop, and it's going to get by Phillips and into left field. And now going to second. And I believe they're going to, I don't even know if Phillips touched it, though. He tried to barehand the ball, and it took kind of a tricky hop. because it was hit on a high chop and kind of slow. So if he would have barehanded it cleanly, it would have been fine. He could have made the throw across to record the out. But it gets by him, and I believe they're going to call it an error. Yes, they are. So E5, that is the second error of the game for our third baseman. Their third baseman also has 2 errors. And each of our second basemen have an error. So we have something in common. 6 errors so far at the bottom of the 5th inning, and the runner advanced to second did Héctor Gómez as that one squirted into left. So a runner at second and nobody out. And Kevin Clark swinging and missing at the first pitch from Coles. Here comes the 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1. Major League Scoreboard update. Here we go. Interleague action is over. We'll start with the American League as Cleveland beat up on Baltimore today at Jacobs Field 9-0. The Yankees edged out Tampa Bay 1-0 in a pitcher's duel. Jared Wright getting the win there. Toronto and Kansas City in the 8th. Kansas City with a rare 8-3 lead. Boston beat the White Sox 5-2, or I should say are leading the White Sox 5-2 in the 8th inning. As Cole's 1-1 pitch stays outside 2-1. Texas all over Minnesota in the 6th. The Angels of Anaheim, your parent club, leading 2-0 in the 3rd against Oakland. And Seattle and Detroit just underway, 1-0 there. Detroit with an early lead. That one's grounded to the first baseman, Gronkowski. He'll take it himself and tag first base. But moving up to third is Héctor Gómez, and the 10th run of the game for the Casper Rockies is 90 feet away as Jay Cox steps to the plate. The National League scores: Pittsburgh beating Philadelphia today 3-2. San Diego and Washington also a 3-2 score, with the Padres getting that one over the Nationals. Florida and the New York Mets, Florida 7-3 a final there at Shea Stadium. And Cincinnati and Atlanta getting doubled up and losing 10-5. The Cubs in Milwaukee, the Cubs struggling this year big time under Dusty Baker. 4-1, the Cubs lead it in the 7th. That one's low and in, 1-0 to Cox. And the other scores: Houston Houston losing 8-2 in the bottom of the 9th, trying to put together a rally there against the Birds, the Cardinals of St. Louis, and Arizona and Colorado. San Francisco and the Dodgers just underway. Pickoff try down to third after the pitch came in to Kevin Clark, thrown down by Kanazik, but the tag applied late by Phillips, and Gómez dives back in safely. Gómez is at third, 1 man out. Left-handed batter, center fielder Jay Cox, who's had 3 RBIs today on 2 singles. Got the first RBI single in the 3rd, and then a 2 RBI single last inning. The Owls trailing it 9-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Got a 2-0 count on Jay Cox. 2-1 count on Jay Cox. Coles comes set, looks over at third, checks the runner. Phillips not holding him. And here comes the 2-1 pitch, and that's fouled back way over our heads. Get out of play. That's out of here. Ty, give us a Glass Savers comic relief clip.
I like your nurse's uniform, guy. These are OR scrubs. Oh, are they?
Glass Savers in Linden, sponsoring all your comic relief clips. Go see them for all of your automobile glass needs. Here comes the 2-2. Found back to the screen. We'll do it again at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 man out. From Mike Lansing Field to the bottom of the 5th, I'm Brandon Gaudin joining you. The Owls losing 3 of the last 4 against Idaho Falls after facing them 6 times and not getting off to a good start here tonight. Well, we got off to a good start. We led it 2-0 in the top of the 3rd. But since then, all Rockies. Here comes the 2-2. That one stays outside, and now the count is full. Kanazik gives back the ball to Coles. Jay Cox putting some dirt on his hands and rubbing it together to try and get some better grip on the bat, as he only wears 1 batting glove in his right hand, and this one smoked down the left field line. Going back is the left fielder Johnson, going to get over his head and off the wall. It's going to be an RBI double. And double digits on the scoreboard for the Rockies of Casper. That's their 10th run of the game. And don't look now, but Jay Cox. Wow. It's a pretty big game when you're in the 5th inning and you've got 4 RBIs, a double and 2 singles. But he also grounded out into a twin killing, a 5-4-3 double play. But ever since that first at bat, he's been red hot. He went the other way and laced a double over Johnson's head and left that one-hopped the wall on the fastball from Coles. He now stands at second base. The runner Gomez came in to score, and the batter is now Jason Augustine. And here comes the pitch. And that scoreboard update, as always, sponsored by Same Day Electric. Service today or you don't pay, 377-SAME, or visit them at samedayelectric.com. I'll give you the Pioneer League scoreboard update in the 8th inning again, and hopefully we can get a victory from the Ogden Raptors against Idaho Falls, because things aren't looking too good here. And if Idaho Falls gets the victory, we would fall 2 games back out of first place to the Chuckers. A 2-0 count now on Jason Augustine, who's a 1-for-2 with a walk and a single. The cleanup hitter in the order for the Rockies. He's batted each of the last 3 innings, and now each of the last 4 here. That 2-0 misses high, and Kanazik can't squeeze it. It gets by him. The runner advances to third, 90 feet away on the high fastball from Coles, but Kanazik probably should have had that one coming up out of the crouch. Again, it just popped in and out of his leather catcher's mitt. The 11th run is 90 feet away, just 1 man out. And a 3-0 count. Coles firing to Augustine. Here comes the 3-0 high. He walked him. I want to talk about what we were talking about yesterday. Fazoli's really has that fast food Italian market cornered. I mean, seriously, you've got all your burger joints, and then out of nowhere, about 10 years ago, here comes Fazoli's, real Italian, real fast. It's good food, good price, and they don't really have any competition. That's the only place to go for fast food Italian. I'm going to call them and see if they want to be a sponsor, as we have another call to the bullpen. That'll be all she wrote for Coles. Stretching for material here. Trailing at 11-3, or 10-3. Runners at the corners. We'll be back. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Barber Brothers Mitsubishi in Orem offers the finest new and pre-owned vehicles at unbeatable prices. If you want to roam over the Wasatch Front with power and style, you can choose from the Outlander, Montero, or the Endeavor, 3 sporty and roomy SUVs. Or how about a convertible for the hot Orem summer? The new 2006 Eclipse Spider is the top of the heap in style, class, and luxury. To get away from the ordinary, stop by and at least test drive a Barber Brothers Mitsubishi today. Barber Brothers, West University in Orem.
When it's time for your next set of tires, do you want the tire with the best warranty in the business? Then you should head to Big O Tires. When it's time for your next pair of Owlz baseball game tickets, do you want free tickets and a chance to win $50,000? Then get to Big O Tires for an entry form and details. No purchase necessary. Big O Tires, Utah's #1 tire store.
A reputation you can ride on. Big O Tires.
Get every day off to a great start with the Daily Herald, Utah County's #1 newspaper. The Herald has you covered in every area, from local to world news and sports to classifieds. The Daily Herald has the most comprehensive and in-depth newspaper around. And of course, in addition to receiving the paper right to your door, you can also visit the Daily Herald online at hearttheherald.com. The Daily Herald, your town, your neighbors, your newspaper.
So Leonardo Calderon, the left-hander, making his first appearance for Orem, and here comes a ground ball. 4, 6, 3. Hey, that works. We'll take it. Double play. Leonardo Calderon, the first pitch he throws is an Orem Owl. A 4-6-3 double play off the bat of Steven Suarez, and just like that, the inning is over. The Rockies do add 1 and increase their lead back to 7, 10-3. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Hey, Owlz fans. Dave Adams Classic Auto Repair is the premier collision repair specialist in Utah County. They have 3 locations, 1 in Lehigh, 2 in Orem. Any accident, fender bender, paint, or body work to be done, Dave Adams is the place to do it. Dave Adams is donating a car to charity. Go by any Dave Adams location or stop by the Booster Club booth at any Owlz home game before August 15th for details. Dave Adams Classic Auto Repair wishes the Orem Owls good luck, and go Owls!
Oh, what a
Looking to get in shape for cheap? Look no further than Dumbbells Gym in Payson. Located on South Main, Dumbbells Gym offers monthly memberships for just $20. And if you sign up for 6 months, that price drops to just $10 a month. Nobody along the Wasatch Front can match these unbeatable prices. And this isn't some corporate workout place. It's a local, family-owned gym with no contracts or gimmicks whatsoever. Call Dumbbells Gym today at 465-5633 or log on to dumbbellsgym.com for more information. Dumbbells Gym, a locally owned workout facility in Payson with the cheapest prices along the Wasatch Front, has recently launched a new website, vitaminsfordummies.com. Vitaminsfordummies.com is home to over 10,000, yes, 10,000 health products and workout supplements at simply unbeatable prices, delivered right to your doorstep. You don't even have to leave your home. That's Vitamins for Dummies, DUMMYS. Vitamins for Dummies, a product of Dumbbells Gym in Payson. Log on today.
Headed to the top of the sixth for the Owls, finding themselves giving up double-digit runs tonight here to Casper already. The run in the bottom of the fifth made the 10th after that 8-run bottom of the fourth that the Rockies put up. They got another one in the third. At that time, before that run in the third, the Owls had the first 2 runs of the game and led this thing 2-0. A single run in the top of the second, third. But it's 10-3. Ryan Mount did have a solo blast in the top of last inning to bring the Owls 1 run closer. First pitch to Gordy Gronkowski here. Fabian still working. He's in his 6th inning of work now. The starter, our starter, Cassevah, went 3. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Gronkowski had the RBI single back in the second to get the Owls on the board, but he struck out in the third. 3 RBIs on the season for the big first baseman in this town. I had lunch with him today after we got into Casper at 10 or 10:30. So this morning and checked into the hotel as the 0-2 is coming. Breaking ball misses 1-2. And I said you really can't appreciate how big this 6'6", 250 guy is until you sit next to him. But what's even more amazing are the size of this kid's hands as the 1-2 comes. And he grounds it towards short on a high hop. Héctor Gómez tries to field it in an error. No, not an error. That's only the 7th error of the game between the two teams. We'll take it. Gordy Gronkowski on first. The shortstop, Héctor Gómez, was throwing to first base before he had the ball in his tan leather mitt, and it squirted underneath him, and Gordy Gronkowski's on first, and Abel Nieves will be the batter. But Gronkowski, I really noticed his hands. He kept them under the table until we got our meal, and then he brought them out. And I'm just like, you couldn't even see the fork. Just like his hand and then this little thing sticking out to grab his food with. Abel Nieves has walked and grounded out. Here comes the first pitch to him. That one misses inside, 1-0. And I'm hearing from Mark Burton. I don't want to know why Mark knows this, but he says his feet are even bigger. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's high and inside, 2-0. Mark, why do you know how big Gordy's feet are? Oh, well, I thought you saw him. Never mind. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That one misses upstairs, 3-0. That error made by the Rockies, it says 3 on the board, but that was their 4th error, and the Owls have also made 3. And with the 9 walks by the Owls pitchers, only a couple surrendered by Fabian, but as I was saying earlier, this hasn't been a pretty sight to see so far on either side. That one misses outside. There's another free pass. So Nieves at first, Gronkowski at second, nobody out, and a little rally going here in the 6th, folks. Back in Orem, we're so glad you decided to spend your Friday night with us. I know there's no place I'd rather be in beautiful Casper, Wyoming, calling back the game to you here. The only thing we could use is to get some runs here and get back in the win column. Ivan Villa-Iscusa will be the batter. He struck out twice tonight in his first start of the season. And what do we have here? Ring up the old phone. We got a phone directories company. Call to the bullpen. That'll be all she wrote for Fabian. And I'll be back to tell you about it in 90 seconds. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Jake Burns here for Utah Community Credit Union.
Jake, what are you doing?
Well, Deb, it's UCCU's 50th anniversary, and I want to let people know we're celebrating.
But when you're home, could you tone it down a little bit?
I can't tone down the excitement for UCCU's special rate on auto and home equity loans.
I know you're excited.
Did you know that UCCU is offering a fixed-rate auto loan as low as 5.95%?
Yes, it's just here while we're eating.
Or a fixed home equity loan also as low as 5.95%?
Can't we eat dinner without all this?
Loans as low as 5.95%, and no closing fees. Deb, no fees.
But didn't you...
But you have to act now. Rates are going up July 1st.
Jake, where are you going?
I'm calling UCCU right now to lock in this fabulous rate.
But didn't you call them this morning and last night?
Baby.
Give Utah Community Credit Union a call right now at 223-8188 to sign up and lock in this special low rate. That's 223-8188. Available on approved credit. Equal housing lender, member NCUA. If you live, work, or attend school in Utah, Wasatch, or Juab County, you can join. Utah Community Credit Union. What does it mean to you?
Hi, this is Owlz broadcaster Brandon Gaudin. To get rid of our remaining commercial airtime, we are selling our final spots for as little as $15 a piece. For just $15, your company can reach everyone in Utah County on 960 AM. Call 377-BALL and ask for Media Relations to schedule your commercial airtime today. Or you can email radio@oremowlz.com. That's 377-BALL, 377-2255, or radio@oremowlz.com.
Of the sixth, the Owls threatening to close in on this Rocky lead. Runners at first and second. Ivan Villascusa, the batter. Robinson Fabian, their star to the right-hander, is out of there. He's responsible for the runners on base, and he is replaced by number 45, Ricky De Los Santos. Ricky's ready. Villascusa is ready. And here comes the first pitch. Called strike over the inside corner, 0-1. De Los Santos from the Dominican Republic. 6'2", 160, was a free agent signed by Casper, played here last year, going 2-3 with a 6.48 ERA. And here comes the 0-1. That's inside, gets by the catcher, Augustine. The runners will move up 90 feet, and we got them at second and third now. Still a long way to go in this one. And like I've been saying, the way things are going, anything could happen. As the sun now completely set here, the lights on full blast at Mike Lansing Field. Still just a few gray overcast skies, but the scattered showers that were in the distance with a little lightning seem to have moved on. What a pleasant evening for baseball. De Los Santos ready. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball right in there. Swung on and missed by Villascusa, 1-2. Before starting or playing at Casper last year, 3 years in the Dominican League, for this right-handed hurler, Ricky De Los Santos. Good hard-throwing righty with a solid changeup. See if we see that changeup here on the 1-2. Here comes something. No, it's a fastball. It stays up and away, 2-2. On deck is Chris Pettit, the center fielder. Nobody out. The Owls in business. Runners at second and third. Ricky looking into his catcher, Augustine. They agree. Augustine, the catcher, shifts towards the outside, and that's where he catches this 2-2 pitch. Missed the plate by about a foot, and the count now full on Villascusa. A walk would load him and bring up Pettit, who's tied with the team lead for 9 RBIs, and he's going to have a chance for more. De Los Santos. The payoff pitch. Low. They're going to check out with the base umpire. No. Alex Ortiz is just going to say that Villascusa went. Just a slight check swing, and it was a low pitch, so my view was blocked from how far Villascusa swung at that one, but apparently far enough. He tried to refrain on the ball that definitely would have sent him down to first base for a free pass, but he couldn't, and Villascusa has gone down on strikes for the third time tonight. He's the first out here at the top of the sixth. And Chris Pettit, the batter, a righty-righty matchup. First pitch coming, base hit left field. 1 run is in, and they're going to hold up. They're going to hold up Nieves at third as the throw comes in from the left fielder, Clark. It was hit hard, and running from second base, Nieves had to wait to see if that got through the hole. So a wise move there by manager Tom Kochman to hold Nieves up at third base. But Pettit The first man in double digits in RBIs on the team gets an RBI single, his 10th of the season. He's at first base. The runners are at the corners. The Evans at third. And just one man out. The batter, Ryan Mount, who hit the solo home run in the fifth. And unfortunately, after the pitcher worked quick for his warm-up tosses, we weren't even with you for that home run that was belted over center field. Had to tell you about it late. But it was a long line drive blast. And he stands in there now, does the shortstop, and here comes the first pitch. That catches the outside corner, 0-1. Besides the solo job, Mount has grounded out to the second baseman and third baseman, Nazario and Milliron. De Los Santos firing home. That one's low and in, almost gets by the catcher, Augustine. It was a slider, and Augustine did a nice job sliding over to his right. The ball bounced up, caught him on his protector, and he grabbed it quickly before Pettit could advance up 90 feet to second base. So now a 1-1 count to the left-handed hitting shortstop. Back in the lineup after sitting the last two games. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. That misses outside, 2-1. Mount got the last couple of nights off after starting the first 15 games of the season. Now back out there for game number 18, the first game of two here in Casper. Same time tomorrow night on Saturday, 7:05. We'll go live at 7 o'clock before getting Sunday off and playing at home for 7 days straight. The 2-1's grounded to the right side and past the second baseman, Nazario, and into right field. A run scores, and it's 10-5. And that one actually hit off his glove and the outside of his shoulder. I wonder if they're going to call that an error or a hit. And indeed, it is an error. And yeah, he should have had that ball, did Nazario, but I was just waiting for the official score because it was kind of a tricky hop. At any rate, it's through. Credit Mount reaching on the air. Another run scores, and now it's 10-5. And here's P.J. Phillips, runners at first and second. And the pitch is inside, 1-0 from De Los Santos. And still, they have 4 errors up there for the Rockies, but I still have 5 errors down for the Rockies, and we're only in the 6th, and 3 for your Owlz. I'm going off my chart. I'm saying that's the 8th error of the game, and the 5th for the Rockies. The 1-0 catches the corner to Phillips. Count even now at 1-1. P.J. Phillips has grounded out twice and struck out in the 5th. He's 0 for 3 and been struggling offensively, like pretty much the entire ball club has as of late. Trying to get things back on track here tonight. Here comes the 1-1. That's fouled back to the screen, 1-2, and he's down to his last strike. Phillips was hitting up around 300, but after these past 6 games with Idaho Falls, he's dropped down to 233. We've seen him play shortstop a couple of games in this last series, but usually the everyday third baseman, and that's where he's back tonight. And he's coming up empty, swinging at a 1-2 slider, and that'll be all she wrote for Phillips. Second time he's struck out tonight. He's 0 for 4, and now the batter will be Scott Kanazik. 2 runs home here in the top of the 6th, though. Owlz came into this inning trailing 10-3, now 10-5. 4-6-3 for the Owlz. 10-8-5 for the Rockies. Kanazik 0 for 3, but he's reached on 2 errors. Here comes the pitch to him. That one's low, 1-0. He's reached on an error by Milliron and an error by Nazario. Nazario's made 2 errors and Milliron 3. Or Milliron 2 and then Gomez 1, sorry. For the Rockies. De Los Santos steps off. Mount off first. It's Pettit out there at second. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fouled down the right side. He hit it hard on the line, but that one's going to get out of play. Right fielder Jorge Sendez had no hope. At a 1-1 count now on Scotty Kanazik from Browns Mills, New Jersey. Not Brown Mills, Browns Mills. He corrected me yesterday. I was testing his Jersey geography. And again, having trouble agreeing on a sign, Augustine and Fabi. And now you see the catcher Augustine go over to put some chalk on the bottom tips of his fingers, which you will see catchers do so that it's easier for the pitchers to pick up on how many fingers they're having down there when they're trying to delay or relay the signal, I should say. The 1-1 misses outside to Kanazik, 2-1. So if you ever see a catcher go and put some of the white chalk on the end of his fingertips, that's why. So it's easier to detect for that pitcher when he's looking in to get the sign. I don't know much, but I know that. The 2-1. This one's hit, but right back to the pitcher. Los Santos does a good job of reaching down to snare it before it can get past him and into center field. And then maybe saved a run. And ends the inning. But the Owls get 2. It's now 10-5. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Thinking of adding that special touch to your yard? Something that will make a dramatic statement and add countless years of enjoyment? Then contact Awesome Waterfalls. Our craftsmen specialize in high-quality recreated rockwork and landscape designs of all shapes and sizes. While we're well known for our stunning waterfalls, we also remove pools, install vinyl and chain-link fencing, sell topsoil, install sprinklers, and more, providing complete landscaping services for 20 years. Find out more at awesomewaterfalls.com.
Dumbbells Gym, a locally owned workout facility in Payson with the cheapest prices along the Wasatch Front, has recently launched a new website, vitaminsfordummies.com. Vitaminsfordummies.com is home to over 10,000, yes, 10,000 health products and workout supplements at simply unbeatable prices, delivered right to your doorstep. You don't even have to leave your home. That's Vitamins for Dummies, DUMMYS. Vitamins for Dummies, a product of Dumbbells Gym in Payson. Log on today.
In baseball, the American dream is to make it to the big show and become a pro. Another American dream is to become a homeowner. It's easy. Give the pros at American Dream Mortgage a call. Whether it's your first home or just moving up to fit the family, American Dream Mortgage can get you into the game. Ask about debt consolidation plans, great rates, and low closing costs. Step up to the plate and call American Dream Mortgage at 227-5061. That's 227-5061. Hit a home run and start living the American dream.
Bottom of the sixth we go. Even though the scoreboard says 10-4, the score is 10-5. The Owls are trailing it here to the Rockies, heading to the bottom of the sixth. Jorge Sandez, Mike Millier, and Austin Rauch will be the batters to face number 45, Leonardo Calderon, who in his first pitch as an Orem Owl last inning induced a 4-6-3 double play off the bat of Steven Suarez to get out of the jam. And now he will be throwing a second pitch of the 2006 season to Jorge Sandez. And here it comes from the lefty. It's a called strike, 0-1. Calderon, the lefty from Loaiza, Puerto Rico. In the 10th round, he was taken to this year's draft, 2006. Was down at extended before getting called up. And this one's fouled back and just over press row, and the count will go to 0-2. He's been with the club just over a week and just making his first appearance out of the bullpen. He won't be part of the starting rotation. Will be making all of his appearances out of the pen. But a good hard-throwing lefty with a solid changeup is Calderon. And here comes the 0-2 from him. That one stays up and out and actually brings Kanazik up out of his seat to catch it. Ball outside. 1-2 now the count. Calderon puts the glove high, covers his face, and now here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch. Sandez was out in front, and he goes down swinging for the first out here in the sixth. He's the fourth pitcher. We've seen Cassevah and Holler and Coles, who all struggled. Coles not as much as Holler and Cassevah. And actually, Cassevah started doing well until a little bit of trouble in that third inning with his control especially. And now the batter will be Mike Millier. Millier's 0 for 3, but he's reached on an error. He struck out twice. The first pitch is high and outside. 1-0. Calderon, as I said, fastball that'll run up into the low 90s. A good changeup. Very, very good changeup. And a solid curveball for the lefty. This one's tapped right back to him. He's got it. And firing over to Gronkowski at first, 2 men away, 1-3 on the putout. And this could be our first 1-2-3 inning. We did have only 3 batters faced in the first off of Cassevah, but it ended on a double play, so he walked Gómez to start off the ball game in that inning, did Cassevah. So this could be the first true 1-2-3 inning that we've had. Austin Rauch, the DH, the batter. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. In addition to a single in that fourth where they batted around, he also popped out to Rivera and Wright, swinging and missing at a Calderon fastball, 0-1. Should Rauch reach, Nazario, the ninth batter in the order, is on deck. 133 only. The 2 hits today has taken him from 4 hits to 6 hits on the season. So he got half of as many hits as he's had all season here tonight, has Austin Rauch, the DH. Fastball misses outside, 1-1. Now here comes the 1-1 pitch, and that one misses low, 1-2. Top of the 6th, you're listening to Orem Owlz Baseball on AM 960 KOVO Provo. As always, feel free to email us your questions and or comments or anything, whatever you want to say, at radio@oremowlz.com. Of course, Owlz has a Z. If you don't know that, well, you should. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That one's low and in, 3-1 to Rauch. Missing inside with a fastball. 3 balls and 1 strike. Good news is, for the first time in the past few innings, the bases are empty here. After that 8-run fourth, following the 1-run third, the 8-run fourth, though, was the big blow that got the Owls down. But we did get 2 in the top of this inning, the 6th, to cut it to 10-5. That one's low and in. He walked him, so the 1-2-3 inning will not happen. That is the 10th walk given up by Owls pitching today, the 10th walk already. The first given up by Calderon in his 4th batter faced. Rauch down at first, and the batter will be Radames Nazario. 8 for 34 for Nazario in the season. Today, he's reached on one of the 8 errors in the game. Had an infield single and flew out to center. He's 1 for 3 as Nazario. Calderon, the lefty, facing the base runner Rauch at first, and now coming to the plate, misses high and outside with a fastball. Nazario, another player from Puerto Rico, on this Casper Rockies roster, was taken last year in the 2005 draft in the 22nd round and played here last year in 56 games, 12 RBIs, 225 average. Low and outside, 2-0. Nazario also played in the Little League World Series for Puerto Rico back in 1997. And here comes the 2-0 to him. That's a called strike, so getting back in the strike zone is Calderon. That catches the corner, 2-1 now. On the right-handed hitting second baseman who bats 9th in this Casper Rockies order, but already batting for the 4th time here in the 6th inning. 2 balls, 1 strike, runner at first. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fouled back to the screen, 2-2. Calderon, as we're finding out here, works a little bit slower than most of the Owls pitchers. Takes his time. Cassevah, who started this ball game, probably works the quickest. He just gets the ball and goes and wants to throw, but Calderon takes his time out on the mound, gets a new baseball, takes a deep breath, puts the left foot in front of the rubber. Now the glove and hand come together, and here comes the 2-2 pitch. Grounded towards the left side. Phillips has it, but he booted it. The 9th error of the game, the 4th on the side of the Orem Owls. And that'll put the runners at first and second.
That brings up the shortstop, Héctor Gómez.
And that is the 3rd error of the game for P.J. Phillips. So he's struggling defensively over there today at third base. And instead of being out of this one, we'll face another batter. We'll go back up to the top of the order, and Héctor Gómez, now with runners at first and second. Gómez is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, but he's reached on an error by Phillips as well. He also walked back in the first to start the ball game. First pitch coming in here is a strike to him, 0-1. So Calderon not giving up any hits yet, but dealing with 2 base runners. 0-1 pitch. This one's hit into straightaway center field, but right at Chris Pettit. Had him play perfectly. He's there. Squeezes it, inning over. They leave a couple stranded. We go to the 7th, trailing by 5. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Hey fans, do you have lights flickering in your home, outlets not working, fuse boxes making sizzling noises, or breakers that won't reset? Don't just call an electrician. Call Any Hour Electric. We offer modest, straightforward pricing and extended hours for your convenience. All our work is 100% guaranteed. In fact, if your problem comes back, so do we, free of charge, serving all of Utah and Salt Lake counties. Find Any Hour Electric in your Yellow Pages and online at anyhourelectric.com.
Any Hour Electric, where your problem is now our problem.
Hey, up here. It's your roof. I don't mean to sound selfish or anything, but I see how you baby your car, washing, waxing, polishing. What about me? I protect the whole family, the dog, even that darn car. You know, it's not easy fending off Mother Nature's fury. Why not give me a hand and call Proper Roofing? They're residential re-roofing experts specializing in asphalt shingles, single-ply membrane, and metal roofs. For a free estimate, call Proper Roofing at 225-5900. Proper Roofing, providing guaranteed quality for over 25 years.
Are you looking for a special place to take that special somebody to dinner? Then head to Wallaby's Smokehouse. Wallaby's features mouth-watering brisket made fresh daily, pulled pork, and smoked turkey. And you won't want to miss what's new for dessert. Wallaby's Smokehouse. Family-owned, family-operated, and family-friendly. So bring the whole gang by. Wallaby's is located at 131 South State Street. You can also call ahead for takeout at 785-4447. Wallaby's, where you want to be.
We're going to the 7th inning. Time for the University of Phoenix trivia question. If you know the answer, dial us up at 801-310-9932. 801-310-9932 to win 2 ticket vouchers to any Owlz home game. And a reminder, since we are on the road and the phone is up here, you do have to dial the 801 area code. The question, who was Roger Clemens' first professional manager? This is coming in the minor leagues. Who was his first professional manager, the manager of Roger Clemens that he saw after pitching college ball? You can call us if you know the answer to win 2 free ticket vouchers at 801-310-9932. Second pitch coming here in the top of the 7th to Tyler Johnson. After the first one missed outside, Johnson swings and misses at the 1-0, 1-1. Ricky De Los Santos back out there for another inning of work here in the 7th. This one misses outside, 2-1 to Johnson, who's been plunked by a pitch for the 4th time on the season. Back in the 5th, he's also walked and struck out. And there's 2 strikes on him here as he cuts at a fastball from De Los Santos and comes up empty. 2-2. It'll be Johnson, Rivera, and Gronkowski. 4, 5, 6 in the Owlz order, trying to put some more runs on the board, trailing by 5. Johnson barely stays alive, tapping that one foul off the end of his bat. Also, time for the Riverwoods Urgent Care injury update. Sean O'Sullivan not starting tonight because of shoulder soreness. Bobby Cassevah getting the start, but we are told that O'Sullivan is fine and will be back in the regular starting rotation 5 days from now, as that one misses outside, 3-2. So now a full count to Tyler Johnson. Outside of that, the Riverwoods Urgent Care injury update. Pellegrini still out with the sore shoulder, hoping to come back on the homestand. As that one misses upstairs, Johnson goes down to first with a walk. And outside of Pellegrini, of course, Julio Padres still out indefinitely, getting his broken wrist checked out down in Arizona. And hopefully we'll have some updates on that here in a week or so. But got shipped down there to have a couple team doctors take a look at him. It was a shame to lose him off to such a hot start. He was hitting .370, the best slugging percentage on the team, a pair of homers. He broke his wrist, actually, right here in Casper, and then would continue to play that game, and after getting the x-rays the next day and realizing it was broken. That fastball misses high and into Rivera, 1-0. Riverwoods Urgent Care, open noon to midnight, 7 days a week. They're right there at 280 West River Park Drive by the shops at Riverwoods as the 1-0 is upstairs, 2-0. No appointment necessary. If you're sick, they are quick. They'll get you in and out. You can call them at 229-2011. That is your Riverwoods Urgent Care injury update. Johnson off first at a 2-0 count to the right fielder, Luis Rivera. Here comes the pitch. That's right down Broadway, 2-1. Rivera probably getting the red light there from Tom Kochman as Ricky De Los Santos is having trouble finding the plate here in the 7th. Johnson, decent size lead at first, and he's going. Here comes the pitch, swung on and missed. Johnson slides into second, and the ball goes into center field, and now Johnson will go all the way to third. He'll be in there, and he'll be 90 feet away as he almost overslid the bag as the throw came in from center fielder Jake Cox. He almost overslid the bag, but barely kept that left hand on there as the third baseman Milliron applied the tag late. So it was a hit and run. Rivera missed at the pitch, a high fastball. So the count now on him is 2-2. The one-hop throw from the catcher, Augustine, went into center field. Johnson popped up after sliding and went on over to third. And the 6th run of the game is 90 feet away for the Owls. Still nobody out here in the 7th. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung at a slider and missed. Would have been ball 3, but a good slider by De Los Santos gets Rivera. And there's one man out of the batter will be Gordy Gronkowski. Gordy had the first RBI hit of the game back in the 2nd. At that time, the Owls led it 1-0. He struck out in the 3rd and reached on an error in the 6th. If you're just joining us, there have been 9 errors in this ball game and 15 walks. Runner at third, is Johnson. The first pitch to Gronkowski misses outside, a 1-0. That was Gordy's 3rd RBI in the season. He's still standing right around 300. He was hitting up around 350 after that hot couple of games he had against Idaho Falls, but it's cooled off since then. Swinging and missing at a 1-0 to even the count at 1 apiece. The Owls at 10-7, 1 game back of Idaho Falls. We'll give you the Pioneer League scoreboard update here in the bottom of the 8th to see what the Chuckers and Raptors are doing. They're going head-to-head. Raptors 3 games back coming into tonight. The 1-1 is in there. Called strike 1-2. And the Casper Rockies, the struggling team, but after winning 2 out of 3, they picked up their 4th and 5th wins of the season. They took 2 out of 3 from Ogden. They're now at 5-12 and 6 games back in the Pioneer League South. And Billings, a full 3 games ahead in the North with an 11-5 record. The 1-2, a called strike over the outside corner. Gronkowski goes down looking. And still Johnson standing down at third with 2 men out. And that slider looked a little bit wide, but it was called a strike by Alex Ortiz and Gronkowski out of there. And Gronkowski was the beer boy of the game here. What that means is if he strikes out, the beers drop down to $2 for the rest of the half inning here in Casper. And Gronkowski has struck out twice, so this crowd well on their way to feeling good, as that one's upstairs to Abel Nieves. 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. That's inside, 2-0. Still trying to get Johnson in from third base. He reached on a walk, took second base, and the throw went into center, and we moved into third. But Rivera and Gronkowski have struck out, and he's still standing there. A 2-0 count on Nieves. Should he reach, Villa Iscusa, who struck out 3 times tonight, is on deck. Fouled back to the screen, 2-1 to the Owls' second baseman. A reminder that the Owls are coming back home to face Missoula for a 4-game set on Monday through Thursday, and then Helena in town next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 7 games at home. You know where to get your tickets, right there at the stadium box office, online at ormowls.com, or any Smith Tix location. And that one misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Nieves. Ricky De Los Santos in his second inning of work in relief of Robinson Fabian, the starter. Swinging at the 3-1 and fouling it back as Nieves will have a payoff pitch coming. Since we were here last, the Rockies did add a little something to their field. They painted a CR behind home plate, kind of like the New York Yankees do up at the Bronx. As that's a called strike over the outside corner. Nieves didn't like it, and looking from up here right behind home plate, boy, did that slider look like it missed big time outside. But Nieves goes down on strikes. Ortiz punches him out. And the Owls leave a runner at third. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Hey, up here. It's your roof. I don't mean to sound selfish or anything, but I see how you baby your car, washing, waxing, polishing. What about me? I protect the whole family, the dog, even that darn car. Well, it's not easy fending off Mother Nature's fury. Why not give me a hand and call Proper Roofing? They're residential re-roofing experts specializing in asphalt shingles, single-ply membrane, and metal roofs. For a free estimate, call Proper Roofing at 225-5900. Proper Roofing, providing guaranteed quality for over 25 years.
Hi, this is Owlz broadcaster Brandon Gaudin. To get rid of our remaining commercial airtime, we are selling our final spots for as little as $15 a piece. For just $15, your company can reach everyone in Utah County on 960 AM. Call 377-BALL and ask for media relations to schedule your commercial airtime today. Or you can email radio@oremowls.com. That's 377-BALL, 377-2255, or radio@oremowls.com.
Advanced Dental Care is your center of cosmetic and laser dentistry. Advanced Dental Care is where Doctors Michael and David Bennett specialize in the latest state-of-the-art procedures. With single-visit crown restoration, tooth-colored fillings, and the new Zoom 2 teeth whitening system, they bring tomorrow's dentistry today. Call for your appointment today at 375-1414.
Doctors Michael and David Bennett are the official team dentists and proud sponsors of Orem Owlz Baseball.
Bottom of the seventh, here we come. Stretch just getting concluded here at Mike Lansing Field. The Owls trailing at 10-5, leaving Johnson at third base at the top of the inning. And we're getting ready to have Aaron Cook, the new pitcher, fire his second pitch. And this one's popped back and foul by Kevin Clark. A 1-1 count. Aaron Cook in the game again. That's the Phone Directories Company call to the bullpen. Phone Directories Company, great people, great books, great results. Call them at 1-866-58-GO-PBC for advertising information. We're going to give you the University of Phoenix trivia question. Fouled back to the screen, 1 and 2 now on Clark. So the question was, who was Roger Clemens' first professional manager? I'm talking about in the minor leagues, not up at the major league level. And the answer, Johnny Dakota from Payson, Utah, called in and answered it correctly. It was Tom Kochman, the manager of your Orem Owls, as Cook gets Clark to chase an outside breaking ball, and he comes up empty. So Cook strikes out Clark, the first man he faces. One man down here at the bottom of the seventh. Manager Tom Kochman was the first professional manager of Roger Clemens. That was back in 1983. Clemens was taken in the first round. He was the 17th overall pick, and manager Tom Kochman at that time, the coach down at Winter Haven, Florida, was his first manager. And thanks to Johnny Dakota for listening and calling in and getting 2 free tickets to any Owls home game. You can do that tomorrow night. Call us in the 7th inning with your answer to the University of Phoenix trivia question. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes now to Jay Cox. The University of Phoenix has the most extensive online library for higher learning in Utah. 5 Utah locations, convenient class times, flexible schedule. No matter how old you are, you can always go back and get your degree. Fastball outside, 3-0 now to Cox. Phoenix.edu/Utah. Get online and visit it tonight. So Cook got the first strikeout. Now he's struggling here, and the 3-0 misses outside. He walked Cox. Cox takes the free pass down to first. And they've got a base runner to the Rockies here in the bottom of the 7th. And the batter will be Jason Augustine, who has walked twice tonight. I'm looking at down now, and all but one of these Rocky hitters has walked tonight, given a free pass by the Owls pitchers. This one's hit hard down the left field line. It's fair, and it could be in for extra bases, and it will be in for extra bases. The throw comes into third. It's going to be a double, and the runners are going to be at second, third, as Jason Augustine laces one over the head of the third baseman, P.J. Phillips. It was fair by just a couple of feet. Good job by the left fielder, Tyler Johnson, to come over and cut it off and preventing Cox running hard all the way from first base from scoring. So now the runners are at second and third, 1 man out. It's Steven Suarez, the batter, And Scott Kanazik holding out the left hand and saying, we're going to give him the free pass. So the bases will be loaded. It'll set up a potential double play. The Owls really can't afford any more runs to come home, trailing 10-5 here in the 7th. So Suarez takes the intentional pass as ball 3 is getting ready to be thrown wide here from Cook to Kanazik. And the batter will be Jorge Sandez, who has also walked twice. He's lined out and struck out. For Suarez now, that is the 4th time that he will be put on today on base on balls. This one intentional. The other 3 not intentional. But in 5 trips to the plate, he only has 1 official at bat. He's grounded out in a 4-6-3 double play back to end the 5th inning. But this time the bat gets taken away from him, and he goes down to first. And there is a Rocky once again. We've seen this several times tonight. There's a Rocky at every base here. And Aaron Cook, the boy from Rockledge, Florida, will try and get out of a jam here. Taken this year was Cook, 35th round in the 2006 draft. And on the season for Cook, this is already his 7th appearance. First pitch swinging to the right side and through for Sandez. It's going to be an RBI single. They're going to hold the runner at third. Only 1 run will get in. And now they've got the runner, Sandez, held up in between first and second. And now we've just got a circus going on because the runner's going to come home, but the throw comes to the plate, and Kanazik tags out Jason Augustine. So the runner is retired at the plate after 1 run scores on the throw home to get the runner in the rundown. The Rockies move their runners to second and third, so that's where the runners will be. Now the score is 11-5. We do get the second out of the inning. So credit Sanders with an RBI single, but a base-running blunder, as he went too far beyond first, and Gronkowski wasn't even at first base. Gronkowski cut off the throw from the right fielder Rivera and then chased right after Sanders, who was way too far off of first base. They had him in a rundown between first and second. When they realized Augustine was running home, they fired home and got Augustine to plate. And here comes Cook's first pitch, is grounded foul to Mike Milliron, grounds it foul down the third baseline. Milliron struck out twice, reached on an air by Phillips, and grounded out to the pitcher. So another run has crossed the plate, the 11th of the night for the Rockies here in the bottom of the 7th, and now they have a 6-run lead. They had an 0-1 count from Cook, firing to Milliron. A single would really put this one out of reach. He went around 0-2. Good breaking ball there by Cook. Cook, a sidearm pitcher, so of course he's a natural sinker baller, as all those sidearmers are. He also has that nasty slider, which he just threw there to end the inning. Milliron came up empty on the Cook slider, his second strikeout on the inning, but 1 run does come home. It could have been worse. They leave him at second and third. We now trail at 11-5. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
When it's time for your next set of tires, do you want the tire with the best warranty in the business? Then you should head to Big O Tires. When it's time for your next pair of Owlz baseball game tickets, do you want free tickets and a chance to win $50,000? Then get to Big O Tires for an entry form and details. No purchase necessary. Big O Tires, Utah's #1 tire store.
A reputation you can ride on. Big O Tires.
Hi, this is Owlz broadcaster Brandon Gaudin. To get rid of our remaining commercial airtime, we are selling our final spots for as little as $15 a piece. For just $15, your company can reach everyone in Utah County on 960 AM. Call 377-BALL and ask for Media Relations to schedule your commercial airtime today. Or you can email radio@oremowlz.com. That's 377-BALL, 377-2255, or radio@oremowlz.com. Dumbbells Gym, a locally owned workout facility in Payson with the cheapest prices along the Wasatch Front, has recently launched a new website, vitaminsfordummies.com. Vitaminsfordummies.com is home to over 10,000, yes, 10,000 health products and workout supplements at simply unbeatable prices, delivered right to your doorstep. You don't even have to leave your home. That's Vitamins for Dummies, DUMMYS. Vitamins for Dummies, a product of Dumbbells Gym in Payson. Log on today.
Here's the thing, we started out friends. It was cool when we all pretend. Yeah. Since you've been gone.
Keep that bump playing, Ty. I like this one. Since you've been gone. Top of the 8th, joining you from Casper. Not only a friendly ghost, it's a city in Wyoming as well. And Ivan Villa-Iscusa, the batter, and the 0-1 pitch is outside, 1-1 now to the Owlz DH, who has not been very fortunate tonight. He's struck out 3 times. As the 1-1 misses outside, 2-1 now to Villa-Iscusa. It'll be he, then Pettit, and then Ryan Mount back to the top of the order. The Owls needing some offense. Here on the top of the 8th, trailing 11-5. Villa-Iscusa cuts and comes up empty on a Ricky De Los Santos fastball, and the count is 2-2. Ricky De Los Santos back on the mound. This is 3rd inning of work in relief of Robinson Fabian. He's going from the wind in the 2-2, and for the 4th time tonight, Ivan Villa-Iscusa has gone down swinging. Third time swinging, and the 4th strikeout was looking. So 0 for 4 with 4 Ks Villa-Iscusa, and boy, it's a good thing that he's not the strikeout boy here tonight. Or we'd really have some loopy folks in the crowd. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, they pick a player each night on the opposing team, and every time he strikes out, the beers drop from $4 down to $2 for that half inning. Gronkowski was the man tonight, and he has struck out twice, so they have had half-price beers twice, as the first pitch coming to Pettit is outside 1-0. Pettit, since entering the game in the 2nd for Peter Bourjos, has got an RBI single and struck out. The 1-0's outside 2-0. Bourjos was pulled out of the game. We're speculating. Again, this is just speculation. Don't quote me, but I think it's because of the base running blunder he made. Instead of sliding into second base, he went in standing and was a forced out to end the 2nd inning. This one hit high and pretty deep to right, going back as Jorge Santos, but he's got it just shy of the track. The ball not carrying very well here tonight. Not much of a breeze to speak about. Had it been blowing out to right, Pettit may have had himself the 2nd homer of the season, but instead it's just a pop-out, and the first 2 are retired. And here's Ryan Mount, who has had a home run. His first of the season came back in the 5th, the solo shot off of Robinson Fabian. Here comes the first pitch to the shortstop. That one's fouled back and out of play. Outside of that solo homer, he's reached on an air and grounded out twice as Mount. Should he reach, P.J. Phillips is on deck. He's also struck out twice tonight. Here comes the 0-1 pitch outside. All looked good. Now the Owls got one in the top of the 2nd, one in the top of the 3rd to take the 2-0 lead. The Rockies would get one in the bottom of the 3rd, but we were still up 2-1 as Mount fouls another one out of play, 0-2. The Owls would be held scoreless in the top of the 4th, and then disaster struck in the bottom of inning number 4. 8 runs would cross the plate on a couple of Owls errors, and 4 men walked in the inning. And they would take a hold of this game and now lead it 11-5. The 0-2 pitch coming to Mount. This one's hit hard into center field. Going back is Jay Cox. He's at the track. He's at the wall. That ball is gone. Ryan Mount's done it again. In nearly the exact same spot that he hit the home run in the 5th. A line drive to straightaway center. And Mount, 2 solo home runs. Unfortunately, we need more than that. Now the score is 11-6. A 2-out homer. And Mount has tied himself for the team lead in homers at 2. There are now 4 Owls players with 2 home runs. 2 solo shots over the center field wall by Ryan Mount. 11-6 now the score. And the batter's P.J. Phillips. And that one's fouled, popped out, back above the screen and out of play, 0-1. So Ryan Mount really bringing the bat alive. And again, he's not getting any help from the wind. A deep ballpark here, and both of those to straightaway center. That one misses outside. A 1-1 now the count on P.J. Phillips. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung at another slider. That's really what's been struggling, or what's been hampering Phillips all season, is swinging at those sliders and curveballs. The breaking balls, he just hasn't had much success with. The 1-2, there's another one, and he swung and missed at it again. He struck out on 3 sliders today, 1 by Fabian, 2 by De Los Santos, all 3 swinging. And that'll end the inning. Another solo home run from Ryan Mount, though, inches us a little bit closer. But we're going to need a big night. We go to the bottom of the 8th, trailing at 11-6. You're listening to Orem Owlz Baseball on 960 AM The Zone.
Get every day off to a great start with the Daily Herald, Utah County's #1 newspaper. The Herald has you covered in every area, from local to world news and sports to classifieds. The Daily Herald has the most comprehensive and in-depth newspaper around. And of course, in addition to receiving the paper right to your door, you can also visit the Daily Herald online at hearttheherald.com. The Daily Herald, your town, your neighbors, your newspaper.
Hey, Owlz fans. Dave Adams Classic Auto Repair is the premier collision repair specialist in Utah County. They have 3 locations, 1 in Lehigh, 2 in Orem. Any accident, fender bender, paint, or body work to be done, Dave Adams is the place to do it. Dave Adams is donating a car to charity. Go by any Dave Adams location or stop by the Booster Club booth at any Owlz home game before August 15th for details. Dave Adams Classic Auto Repair wishes the Orem Owlz good luck, and go Owlz!
Oh, what a
Looking to get in shape for cheap? Look no further than Dumbbells Gym in Pesa. Located on South Main, Dumbbells Gym offers monthly memberships for just $20. And if you sign up for 6 months, that price drops to just $10 a month. Nobody along the Wasatch Front can match these unbeatable prices. And this isn't some corporate workout place. It's a local, family-owned gym with no contracts or gimmicks whatsoever. Call Dumbbells Gym today at 465-5633 or log on to dumbbellsgym.com for more information.
The Owls have their 6th pitcher of the evening, and I hope this is the last one because that's the only amount of slots I have here on the old scorecard. Darren O'Day is into the game, and the Owls have struggled here pitching tonight. 11 runs given up on 9 hits. We have not helped ourselves by making 4 errors. The Rockies have made 5 errors, but the Owls haven't capitalized as much as the Rockies have. 5 runs on 6 hits for Orem, 11 runs on 9 hits for Casper. We go to the bottom of inning number 8. Darren O'Day, Submariner. Fastball, of course, the sinker ball pitcher, just like Cook before him. That's naturally how the ball falls if you are a sidewinder. He's got a hard slider as well, and he's trying to pick up a little bit better changeup, according to pitching coach Zeke Zimmerman. He's going to face Rauch, the first batter, swinging and fouling it down to the left side on a fastball from O'Day is Rauch, 0-1. Rauch is singled, popped out, and walked 2 for 3. And let's give you the Pioneer League scoreboard update. Well, we'll wait until this pitch from Darren O'Day. O'Day comes set, looks into Kanazik, and comes home with a 0-1. Swing and a miss. There's that nasty slider, 0-2. Great Falls leads Missoula 9-4 heading to the 8th. Or excuse me, they're playing 2 7-inning games. That's what you do when you have a makeup from a rain delay in the Pioneer League. Swing and a miss at another slider. 3 pitches, 1 out, a strikeout. Good job by O'Day. When you have a rain out in the Pioneer League, instead of playing a doubleheader with 2 9-inning games, you play 2 7-inning games. So Great Falls won the first 7-inning contest 9-4, and they lead the second one in the 4th 2-1. O'Day pitching, another slider, swing and missing is Nazario, 0-1. Billings and Helena tied at 5 in the 9th, and Helena, Billings batting in the top half. Of course, you know the score here, not looking good, 11-6. And Ogden and Idaho Falls, not looking good if you're an Orem fan either. Idaho Falls leads that one heading to the 9th, 3-1. And if they hold on, the Owls will then be 2 full games back unless we rally here in the 9th. Here's the pitch to Nazario. That one misses, and he doesn't offer at it. 1 ball and 1 strike. From Darren O'Day. Played his ball at the University of Florida. He's gotten 3 saves for the Owls already on this season. Not a save situation here, though, with the Owls trailing 11-5. This one squirted to the left side. Phillips, who's made 3 errors tonight, has this one and throws across. And 3 errors, just really uncharacteristic. Phillips, a good fielder, taken in the second round of the 2005 draft was P.J. Phillips, but he's made 3 errors here tonight. He retires that out 5-3 on the putout as he throws it over to Gronkowski at first. Nazario's out of there. 2 men down, and the batter's Héctor Gómez, who's 0 for 4 with a walk, and he also reached on a Phillips error. Righty-righty matchup. The Submariner fires a slider in there for strike number 1. That Pioneer League scoreboard update, as always, sponsored by Same Day Electric. They're proud to support seriously good baseball, and guess what? They want to remind you that electricity, well, it can be seriously dangerous. For all of your home or business electrical work, let one of Same Day Electric's professionally trained technicians help you. Call them at 377-SAVE. Fouling that one back is Gomez, 0-2. O'Day's ready. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Goodbye. Swung at a Darren slider. He has been solid for the Owls all season long as Darren O'Day, and he records another 1-2-3 inning. That's the first 1-2-3 inning the Owls have had all night. We go to the 9th. We need a rally. Down by 5. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone.
Hey, fans, do you have lights flickering in your home, outlets not working, fuse boxes making sizzling noises, or breakers that won't reset? Don't just call an electrician. Call Any Hour Electric. We offer modest, straightforward pricing and extended hours for your convenience. All our work is 100% guaranteed. In fact, if your problem comes back, so do we, free of charge, serving all of Utah and Salt Lake counties. Find Any Hour Electric in your Yellow Pages and online at anyhourelectric.com.
Any Hour Electric, where your problem is now our problem.
Jake Burns here for Utah Community Credit Union.
Jake, what are you doing?
Well, Deb, it's UCCU's 50th anniversary, and I want to let people know we're celebrating.
But when you're home, could you tone it down a little bit?
I can't tone down the excitement for UCCU's special rate on auto and home equity loans.
I know you're excited.
Did you know that UCCU is offering a fixed-rate auto loan as low as 5.95%?
Yes, it's just that while we're eating.
Or a fixed home equity loan also as low as 5.95%?
Can't we eat dinner without all this?
Loans as low as 5.95%, and no closing fees. Deb, no fees.
But didn't you...
But you have to act now. Rates are going up July 1st.
Jake, where are you going?
I'm calling UCCU right now to lock in this fabulous rate.
But didn't you call them this morning and last night?
Baby. Give Utah Community Credit Union a call right now at 223-8188 to sign up and lock in this special low rate. That's 223-8188. Available on approved credit. Equal housing lender, member NCUA. If you live, work, or attend school in Utah, Wasatch, or Juab County, you can join. Utah Community Credit Union. What does it mean to you?
Congratulations, Rick. As you know, Monty, Vaughn's been working on a couple of new pitches, the Eliminator and the Humiliator, to complement his fastball, the Terminator. I heard that. Dynamite drop in, Monty. That broadcast school has really paid off.
I love that clip. That's Ty Stark. Back in the studio playing that clip for you. He's back in Salt Lake City. I kind of wish I was in Salt Lake City right now, not because Casper's not a nice town, but not being nice to us right now. We're trailing this one 11-6, heading to the top of the 9th. Ty Stark, thanks for working the board as always. That clip coming from the second major league, I believe. Correct, Ty? Not the first one? Yes, not the first one. The second major league there. That, of course, Bob Uecker, famous voice of those movies and of the Brewers for a long time. Leading it off is Scott Kanazik, the catcher, getting back to things that actually matter and are pertinent to this game. Augustine Arias is on to close the door in relief of Ricky De Los Santos, who went 3 strong. And the 1-0 pitch to Kanazik is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kanazik, who has reached twice on 2 errors today. He's also grounded out and popped out. The right-hander Arias comes set, and this one's inside, almost hits Kanazik. I know I've said almost hits probably 73 times tonight alone, but it's true. There have been some control issues on both sides, and the count is now 2-1 on Kanazik. Arias from the Dominican Republic, and he hits this one over to the third baseman, Mike Milliron, who makes a good backhanded play and a solid throw across the diamond. It was hit on a high hop towards the line. Milliron went over and backhanded it, made a hard strike right on a rope to the first baseman, Suarez, and the Owls are down to their final 2 outs. The batter will be Tyler Johnson. Johnson's walked twice, got plunked by a pitch, and struck out. Talking about Arias, 5'11", 178, this pitcher from the Dominican Republic. Played in the Dominican last league, was signed as a free agent. As fouling that one back and out of play is Ty Johnson. Ty Stark, do you have any more comic relief clips for us?
This is a tasty burger. You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash it down?
Swing and a miss by Ty Johnson. I don't know what movie that was from. Pulp Fiction, I'm sorry, I've never seen it. I know, I don't have much of a life. But 0-2 count on Tyler Johnson as he missed an Arias breaking ball. Glass Savers in Linden sponsoring all of your comic relief clips. If a foul ball catches your car at the home of the Owls, you know where to take it. Down on strikes goes Johnson for the second time tonight. The Owls have struck out 15 times tonight, and that adds to their league leading total, or maybe league last total, however you want to look at it, now from 161 up to 176 strikeouts. And that is what's been plaguing us all season long. And really, most all of our strikeouts are coming on breaking pitches, just not really picking up the sliders and the curveball. Our offense has looked better tonight, though, but we're still looking to be on the losing end of this one. Trailing at 11-6 with 2 men out in the top of the ninth. Swinging and coming up empty is Rivera, 0-1. This crowd of 1,802 on their feet, looking for another win. Taking 2 of 3 from Ogden and looking to start this 2-game set off with a victory here. That ball misses high and in, 1-1 now to the Owls right fielder, whose jersey's very dirty. Mark Burton's going to have to bleach that one tonight. That one's high and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Should Rivera reach, Gordy Gronkowski would be the batter. Rivera started off the season hot, has since cooled down to 226. Struck out 17 times on the season. Hopefully he won't be doing that here. Augustine Arias comes set. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's low and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. And Arias getting the first 2 men here on the top of the ninth, trying to send the Owls to 10-8. And if Idaho Falls can hold on to that lead in the top of the ninth to beat Ogden, we would drop 2 full games back to first place for the first time this season. That's a called strike over the outside corner, 3-2. The Owls have been 1 game back, even or 1 game ahead the entire season. Just kind of teeter-tottering back and forth with a roller coaster ride, but with this loss, we would move back to 2 full games, 3-2, fouled back to stay alive by Rivera, and continue this ball game for at least 1 more pitch. As I said, Billings 3 full games ahead on the top. Great Falls White Sox in second place at 8-8. The Billings off to a hot start at 11-5, but they lost the first game of that doubleheader today against Missoula. Hey, that misses low and outside. We got a base runner. Rivera with a good eye. He goes down to first base. Gordy Gronkowski stepping up to the plate. Gronkowski struck out twice, reached on an error, and actually had an RBI single back in the second when things looked ever so good. The Owls got a 1-0 lead, 2-0 lead then in the top of the third. And ever since then, it's kind of been a downward spiral. But Rivera off first. The first pitch, a called strike to Gordy, who is the strikeout boy here tonight. If he strikes out, the beers drop. But alcohol stopped being served after, I believe, the 8th inning here at Mike Lansing Field. 0-1 swung on and missed. 0-2 to Gordy. And once again, we're down to our last strike, Augustine Arias. Number 40 for the home team, wearing the black jerseys with purple trim. Puts the glove all the way down, now comes set and fires. This one is low in the dirt, and it's going to get by the catcher, Augustine. Rivera's going to advance to second and make a turn and go all the way into third. That ball bounced in front of the plate, hit off of Augustine, the catcher's mitt, and just went way in the air, about 30 feet. Augustine popped up, looked around, threw his hands in the air, had no idea where the baseball was, and then it bounced behind him, kicked with backspin all the way to the backstop. Rivera ran into second, realized that Augustine had to run all the way to get the baseball, and he went on into third. So a runner's 90 feet away, but we need a whole heck of a lot more than that here. Here comes the 1-2 to Gordy, swung on and missed, ball game over. We'll be back with the Dumbbells Gym post-game recap. You're listening to Owlz Baseball on 960 AM The Zone.
Dumbbells Gym, a locally owned workout facility in Payson with the cheapest prices along the Wasatch Front, has recently launched a new website, vitaminsfordummies.com. Vitaminsfordummies.com is home to over 10,000, yes, 10,000 health products and workout supplements that simply And I gave you a false statement. The game is not over. He did swing and miss at that pitch, did Gronkowski, but they called it a balk. A late balk call by the home plate umpire, Alex Ortiz, just when you don't think you've seen it all. So the runner comes in from third. It's now 11-7. The game is not over. A 2-2 pitch coming to Gronkowski, and now he swings and misses, and the ball game is over. Apologize for the false alarm. The Owls get the run. Gronkowski does strike out, and now the ball game, I'm for sure, is over, as Ortiz doesn't have any late balk calls here. We'll be back with a recap. You're listening to 960 AM The Zone. Looking to get in shape for cheap? Look no further than Dumbbells Gym in Payson. Located on South Main, Dumbbells Gym offers monthly memberships for just $20. And if you sign up for 6 months, that price drops to just $10 a month. Nobody along the Wasatch Front can match these unbeatable prices. And this isn't some corporate workout place. It's a local family-owned gym with no contracts or gimmicks whatsoever. Call Dumbbells Gym today at 465-5633 or log on to dumbbellsgym.com for more information.
Jake Brent's here for Utah Community Credit Union.
Jake, what are you doing?
Well, Deb, it's UCCU's 50th anniversary, and I want to let people know we're celebrating.
But when you're home, could you tone it down a little bit?
I can't tone down the excitement for UCCU's special rate on auto and home equity loans.
I know you're excited.
Did you know that UCCU is offering a fixed-rate auto loan as low as 5.95%?
Yes, it's just that while we're eating.
Or a fixed home equity loan also as low as 5.95%?
Can't we eat dinner without all
this? Loans as low as 5.95%, and no closing fees. Deb, no fees.
But didn't you...
But you have to act now. Rates are going up July 1st.
Jake, where are you going?
I'm calling UCCU right now to lock in this fabulous rate.
But didn't you call them this morning and last night?
Maybe. Give Utah Community Credit Union a call right now at 223-8188 to sign up and lock in this special low rate. That's 223-8188. Available on approved credit. Equal housing lender, member NCUA. If you live, work, or attend school in Utah, Wasatch, or Juab County, you can join Utah Community Credit Union. What does it mean to you?
Owlz Gym post-game show. Ty Stark making me laugh back at the studio. Bottom line is, win or lose, we're always going to have a good time here on 960 AM. It was not a good one to watch tonight. The Owls led it 2-0, and then things went south. They got one run in the third to make it 2-1, but then the big blow came in the bottom of the fourth inning when the Rockies would strike 8 times, assisted by 4 walks and a couple Owls errors, and they would never look back. The final 11-7, 7 runs on 6 hits and 4 errors for the Owls, 11 runs on just 9 hits and 5 errors for the Rockies. All told, there were 9 errors and 17 walks between the two teams tonight, so it wasn't pretty, but pretty enough for the Rockies to get out of here with a victory and send 1,800 happy home with a victory, and they've won 2 out of their last 3, beating Ogden, or 3 out of their last 4, I should say, beating Ogden 2 of the last 3, and now getting the first of the 2 games set here tonight. We'll be back at you tomorrow night, 7:05, first pitch, and we'll have Jeremy Haynes on the hill trying to regroup the squad, and we'll go live on 960 at 5 minutes before the first pitch at 7 p.m. Bobby Cassevah started the game tonight for the Owls, went just 3 innings, pitched pretty well, despite walking 4 and having control issues. He gave up just 1 run, which wasn't earned, and he struck out 3, giving up 3 hits. And then Blake Holler came in. Holler, who's done well for us so far this season, struggled in the 4th inning and gave up those 8 runs. Not all of them were earned, though, but he did walk 4, and he labored. He couldn't find the plate, and then Coles came in and struggled as well. We would also see Calderon, Cook, and O'Day. Cook and O'Day looked good in the 8th and 9th innings, and Calderon looked pretty good in his first outing as an Orem Owl. But all told, 11 runs would do us in. 8 in that 4th inning, 11-7 your final. The Dumbbells Gym postgame recap. Dumbbells Gym, cheapest workout facility along the Wasatch Front, as low as $10 a month. No contracts or gimmicks. You can call them today at 465-5633, or you can visit them online at dumbbellsgym.com for more information. With the loss, the Owls dropped to 10-8. We've now lost 3 of 4, so we're going on opposite tilts with these Casper Rockies, who have won 3 of their last 4. They improved to 6-12. Orem drops to 10-8. We're now 2 full games back of Idaho Falls, assuming that they close the door on Ogden in the top of the 9th at Idaho Falls. Ogden went up there after we were there for the past 3 games and was leading them 3-1 at last check in the top of the 9th. So should the Chuckers hold on, we'll fall back to 2 games behind. And as I said, we'll try and regroup tomorrow night behind the right-hander Jeremy Haynes, who will be making his 3rd start of the season, 4th appearance, after Cassevah gets a spot start here tonight in place of Sean O'Sullivan. In case you were curious why you didn't see Sean tonight, Sean, after last outing, left in the 3rd innings with some shoulder soreness at his right throwing arm, but he is okay, been on medication, he's fine. It was just for precautionary measures that they sat him out tonight, and he'll be back here tomorrow night. The bright spot tonight was Ryan Mount. He hit 2 long solo blasts over the center field wall for his 1st and 2nd home runs of the season. Gordy Gronkowski had an RBI single. Luis Rivera had an RBI single. So did Chris Pettit. So we had the offense going, more so than in the last 5 games where we've only hit 159 and scored 12 runs. We did cross 7 tonight over the plate, but in a losing effort, 11-7 is the pitching, who has been there for us for the most part all season long. 2nd in the league in pitching we are with a 3.44 ERA, but that'll go up after tonight's loss and giving up 11 runs. My name is Brandon Gaudin. You've been listening to 960 AM The Zone. Thanks as always to Ty Stark back in the studio. We will see you tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. Good night, everybody.
You've been listening to Orem Owls Baseball on 960 AM The Zone. The Owls would like to thank all their sponsors for their support. Be sure to tune in next time to catch more exciting Orem Owls Baseball live with Brandon Gaudin. Catch the Owls all season long right here on 960 AM The Zone. Pre-game starts at 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 4 p.m. on Sunday. For a complete game and broadcast schedule, just log on to owlsbaseball.com. Thank you and good night.